Yes. Thank you. And Angel, you wanna check for me before I start continue?
All right.
I just start again, but it probably was the filter, I guess. Is you know what I mean?
Internet.
You don't, right? It probably was the filter. You don't see anything?
I don't have internet.
Ali!
I've had internet the whole day.
Ali! You wanna tell her to check for me, Angel?
I'm checking right now. Oh yeah. Wait.
You got
Can I
it?
check?
Oh, God. Just wanna make sure the sound's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Time is sound is good. Thanks to Malik, for being the sound engineer. So what it is yes, guys. Thank you for your patience. I hope you find your way back. We apologize for all those who came to hang out and found no sound.
What?
But we realize it's because of filters. We don't use these games all the time. But for some reason, it's nighttime. We wanted to play around a little bit, man. But it cost us to talk without sound, like mute or something. So what were we talking about? To repeat it, because you deserve it. You were here, and it's my fault that there was no sound. Though I don't like repeating myself, so I make the exception because there is an exception to every rule. So what it is like I was talking about first the Patreon page, VTV, that we already launched, and also we already wrote an article on there, a little article that deals with how to deal with the situation, like pointers on how to understand things and keep your sanity these days, or something like that. You see, so that's why we need everyone, to become patrons, and those who trust us, who believe in us, who love us, or something like that. You see, who think we should exist or something. Then it is their due diligence. Your due diligence is to support, because through this platform we'll be able to get closer to the lovers. You see, like allowing them into ourselves, into our space, to see the funny part, to see the baby part, the adult part, whatever the multi-dimensional being at best, or something like this, because it will be a close and personal encounter. Depending on the tier, of course. So the thing is, like, what it is also, we will be able to go hands-on on the situations that we face, or something like this. We go hands-on on them. You see, like speaking, and then we listen to each other, because the best way to help one another is not a master and a student most of the time. Sometimes it is dialogue. You see, we speak, and then as we hear, the hearts understand the language of the heart, and then whatever comes up as an issue, the solution also shows and stuff like this right away through the heart as they communicate. So the thing is, like, basically, you see, that's why we need also you to be a part of our musical journey, you see, or the artistic part of the journey, where we also express our understanding of the world and things like this through the arts, or something, which is the proper way to go about it. You see what I mean? So that's just why you will be given, backstage access to when we are in studio. Specifically, we are already in the process of working on the next song. We have young artists, a few young artists, females at best. You see what I mean? That we want to bring back. Welcome back, brother Fred. We're just speaking on our projects and stuff like this. Good now, fam. Thank you, brother. So the thing is, like, and there's Big Bill right here, the senator. You see what I mean? So he will also be part of the project, because he's a voice in art, specifically the hip hop form or something like this. He's been there, done that, wrote many great songs for great artists that is known or whatever. So the thing is, we are already working on the next project or something like this. We're still brainstorming on whatever. I've not had a title yet, even the beat like this. We're still working on which one to go about first or whatever. We in primordial shape of it, something like this, which is the best way to get in. So as we work with this new song, and we also want to thank everyone, who supported, and we give a good note on the last project we work and released, which was Open Your Eyes or something like this, also featuring Big Bill. And as the engineer and the producer, it was Mike Penn, of Penn Studios and stuff like this. You see, so shout out to them also at also Bushwick Radio, keeping hip hop alive, something like that. You see what I mean? So a lot of great things, a lot of great people, that God put in our path, to keep us going, to support our projects and things like this. And the best we can do is to deliver, our uniqueness to you, because we cannot just stick around and just enjoying other people's music. Where is our music? We have to bring it in too. You see, put our to the table, like, okay, this is us, or something like this. We work this. So that's why the Patreon page will give you access to the process, where you can be motivated to do the same or inspired by the way we do things, with full love and understanding and stuff like that. You see what I mean? On the Patreon page, you even may be able to go to the studio and see how we record and stuff like this or whatever. We'll literally give you full access on things, and of course, depending on the tier of partnership or the tier of sponsorship or patronership or something like this. So what it is, that's the what's going on, what we're working with at the moment. We're just giving you an update and stuff. But the other side of things after that, you see, is what would I say? It's about the happenings. Most of the time, we do not want to lose our voices into all the noises and stuff like this, because as you can see, many people is gonna have a say in the happenings. But just because they have a say doesn't mean it's gonna help us move forward or something like that. And most of the voices speaking as well, they're literally only pointing at what's going on, which is something that is so apparent these days, which is why we have to learn to understand that it's really not about talking about it. You see what I mean? Because so many people will talk about it. Who's gonna say that anyone is ever gonna care after a while? You see what I mean? But the best thing we can do for ourselves is like, as it's happening, to understand why it's happening and how we can come out of it a better version of ourselves. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is, like, everything else is literally a waste of energy, a waste of time. But we're not saying that it shouldn't be done, because it all serves. But this is not who we are. You see what I mean? So when we speak, we're not speaking as though good or bad or it's bad. No, it's happening because it needs to happen. It's serving something. You see what I mean? That's the fabric of life. You see what I mean? But it just may not serve who we are or who we aspire to be. You see what I mean? Or something like that, if I can say it any other way. So what it is, yes, brother Fred, I'm good now. Thank you, brother. So the thing is, like, basically, I was listening to Graf Smart latest video. You see what I mean? Thank you for the love, beloved. You see, I was listening to Ralph Smart video just earlier. You see what I mean? Which is why I came so late, because I do listen more than I speak. You have no idea. So the thing is, like, when I was listening to him and he was talking, he was really in synchronicity with the podcast that I was supposed to bring live yesterday to the YouTube channel or something like that. Because he was talking about how domestic violence, more sexual abuse, and more all of the ills that we were running from, or talking about, that's not supposed to be happening, kind of become more and more as people are confined into their homes and stuff like this now more than ever. which is something that we expected. Brother Don, thank you. I didn't even know you were helping earlier. Sometimes I try to chat so I don't get disturbed, but I said that you were trying to help. I literally was speaking, no voice coming out. How funny that was, eh? And I thank you for coming back again, and thank you for the support, beloved. So the thing is like, namaste, namaste. So the thing is like, we didn't miss much. We was, though we don't like repeating ourselves, you see what I mean? But like every, it has, some sort of exemption, whatever. So we exempt this time to repeat ourselves because you guys deserve it. You see, here you came to hang out and then no sound. That was my fault. So of course I need to make sure I pay that respect back. You see what I mean? So that's what we were doing, just taking it back from what we said before. So what it is we were simply talking about the Patreon page that is already activated, where we're gonna share our arts, like more of our music and film also. All sorts of things will be coming out of that. Because as we grow, we want to create a network of self-sustaining things. You see, I mean, it's too big of a project to put to words most of the time. You see, that's why, and I don't want to scare people. I don't speak on things, and then we just let it unfold. You see what I mean? So repetition is learning. Indeed, thank you for this reminder. So the thing is like. So that's what it is, guys. But of course, the people that listen to us, that follow us, which is why we wanted to give you guys that private aspect of things, which we think it is time now, because as we spoke, our truth and share our uniqueness, though it is for humanity, but we cannot be delusional. Who we are is only to be part of the head of things. You see what I mean? Of the body of man or something like this. Part of the head is the neurons. When people say the head, I'm the head, they don't understand the head and all the things that pertains to the head. The head itself, let's say the brain, how many neurons is in the brain? You see, that's why people gotta understand it's the tribe. You see what I mean? The neurons, the brain cells, the this, the that, so many of people in one thing, you see? That's why no need about anything, just focus on your uniqueness, your message, what you offer humanity, the piece of that puzzle that no one can duplicate or replicate or something like that. Every one of us has that, you see, which is why we have to inspire each other to find that uniqueness, because without it, there's no world. Something is going to be missing. It doesn't matter what we do. If the piece to the puzzle, I don't know when you guys play puzzles, one piece is missing, you feel like there's no puzzle. You see what I mean? You say protons and electrons. Indeed. Indeed, Brother Don. So that's what it is. It's like on the Patreon page, we will be able to share with you, and also there will be some comedy shows, and you see a lot of people, doing the same thing. They love the ideas, and they're doing the same on their channels and stuff like that. And we want to offer that unique comic self, and that's why we are working on a show. All the publicity is already working with and stuff like this, where it's about, thank you for the love, guys. You see, where it's about, the name of it is The Enlightened Dummy, because people like to call me Enlightened Being, whatever, for some reason. You see what I mean? Whatever that means. So the thing is, I just see, like, why not take this and make it a comic or comic form of art or something like this, where we can make a fool of ourselves for your pleasures. You see what I mean? A token of our appreciation, you see, and stuff like this, and our love for you guys. So the thing is, like, basically, the name of it is The Enlightened Dummy. We said Enlightened Comic or Enlightened Dummy. But The Enlightened Comic was supposed to be a platform in itself, a YouTube channel where only comedy, whatever. But the Enlightened Dummy, which is I in it, because to me, when people call me all sorts of things, But the only thing I resonate with is the dummy. I'm like, damn, I'm such a dummy. I don't know what you're talking about. You see what I'm saying? So, and I enjoy it too. So, that's what I'm like, yeah, ignorance is bliss. Life is beautiful when you're a dummy. You see what I'm saying? You don't care. You feel me? So since I survived being a dummy all the time and whatever, and some call it wisdom. You see what I mean? So the thing is like something, we find it, comical. You see, and to share how dumb we are at times, and because we laugh at ourselves. But you would not know how dumb we are unless we share our dumbness with you. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it is. So that is in the work as well, and all the publicity and things like this already done with, worked with. It's everything is ready, except is find the proper time to release that or something like this, or if ever gonna be a time, because many projects we work on, never made daylight. You see, not on our platform. Maybe somebody run with the idea. Of course, we see that a lot. But the thing is, did we come out with the original thought or something? Sometimes it didn't. Which is the first show we were supposed to have instead of Viepodcast was to be a show me and my children were working on, and a couple of friends, about the first animated one. We chose it for it to be animated because of all the different things that were gonna had to be in it or something. So the thing is about a pair of twin boys, whatever, who were born and whatever, blah blah blah, and then they became, they started a show, and the show became famous, where they call higher and lower and higher last name self. You see what I mean? Lower for the lower, higher for the higher. It was a show like where we were like both characters that are played by me, of course. And then what it is, it's like a talk show, a daily talk or night talk show. And then, but he blew up or something like this, and then got many views and reviews. And then what it is just everything that happens. Let's say something right now, coronavirus, for instance, God forbid. You see what I mean? And, that's the trend now, I mean, the hashtag of the day. So what it is, people will ask us about it, and then we'll talk about it for one episode. And then let's say we come, as tonight, the episode is about COVID-19 or something like this. And then lower will speak of it on a mundane level. Oh, whatever, fuck that, you're trying to kill us, blah, 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 this and that, blah, blah, blah. That's the lower, you see? That's lower individual. And the higher is the cool, collected one, which is the namaste type, which is who is wise, who's not afraid of life, he understands things. And then he will be like always in disagreement with the, you see what I mean, with the lower, saying, no, that's, this is the perspective of what I see it. But lower will think of it as a competition, like higher is trying to say smarter, blah, 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 but higher is only showing lower a better perspective, because if you keep seeing things negatively, then you will manifest more negativity, blah blah blah. You see what I mean? It was a show that was gonna embody the fight or the existence of the two selves, of the lower and the higher, and how they navigate together, but at the same time there could be a harmonious navigation, you see, or something like this. We wanted to, that was gonna be part of that art or something, but that show never made daylight. And even my daughter recently was asking, yo, what happened to the lower and higher self show? You see what I mean? And I'm like, yeah, it's still there, so much work was put into it and stuff like this, but every great one will tell you that many projects never make daylight. That's the thing. When you see one come out and then he did something, then it's one out of a million. You must believe it. So the thing is, like, we open ourselves as well, because the way it is, we've been preparing you guys, you see, for this day, you see, if you guys were paying attention, you see. The thing is, like, we live. Everyone got mad at us. Friends, close friends, old friends, or whatever. You see what I mean? They didn't understand. But the thing we were doing is simply following our hearts. You see what I mean? We did not understand as well, which is the dumb part of self. You see what I mean? We don't get it. What the fuck are we doing? Like, why am I closing this business? But my whole being says that's what needs to be done. You see what I mean? Even friends who didn't agree, because I'm always surrounded by supporters, people that believe in me, love me, wants to invest in me and stuff, or invest with me. You see what I mean? So the overwhelming unconditional love I get from this life, the best I can do is just offer myself really as a clown to make you laugh, to tell you the truth. So the thing is like basically, it's just that brother came, yo, I have some whatever amount save. I forward you $10,000 later right now. Just do your store, whatever, do whatever you gotta do. Please don't go away. The mall wanted me to stay. Everybody wanted me to stay. People left the previous phone companies to come to me. All of these things. You see what I mean? So now I felt like I was putting everybody down or something, but at the same time, what we have to offer is much more important than the cell phones that we offer at the moment, or the cell phone services that we offer them at the moment. So we have to trust, and this is why day by day we keep telling you, we stay clear to you and open, because there's always a lesson in the life of one who lives authentically or something like this, because there's always, life is a school, literally. There's always a lesson in every step. You see what I mean? So the more open we are with each other, with the things that are to be opened, of course, then what it is, the more we will learn, not about a book, not about a lot of things we do. We don't need to do it like this. We can allow it to be done that way when there's time and it all is good and dandy, whatever. But when there's a moment in time where things are beginning and everything must know its place and things gotta be on point or whatever, which is always, you know what I mean? But there's time for that luxury of not having that state of mind. Knowing, to know and to understand, and the wisdom and things like this, and like preparement and all the good things that we have to do or something like that. So the thing is like, it's just, if we just live, which is what we started the year by telling every leader, spiritual at best, most of the time when we speak of leaders, is what it is. It's like, to just don't need to really hide the vulnerable part of self. Allow it to be a beauty and allow it to be open, make fun of it. All the comedians are already doing the same thing. You see, the thing is, except that they understand things from a level that, so funny that they see it as funny. But a spiritual leader, sometimes we tend to be serious about things. You see, they literally have to teach us be chill. Like, why you have to be serious all the time? You feel me? So because of that, we see the vulnerabilities of self as an enemy, and we don't want to show it because it proves that we are vulnerable and weak. No, all that exists for a reason. We have to see it as a beauty. You see, not as something yucky or whatever. You see what I mean? So that's why we urged everyone to just keep open up, and then we were happy with the feedback and how everyone understood, and they just went with that, and they now see how beautiful that is too, because the people learn even more from that, because that's everyone who's listening to each other. Like myself, I was listening to brother Ralph and others or something the other day. So what it is, as I'm listening, I'm in a state of vulnerability. I'm listening, I'm hearing, I'm learning. I'm that student for the time being. So the thing, like when that happens, who's to say that I'm learning the proper things? Who's to say it's gonna bring me to a level I need to be, or who's to say it's gonna serve my time? You see what I mean? That's a vulnerable state to listen. You see, that's why it's so important that you listen to the voice of wisdom most of the time. You see what I mean? So the thing is, like, basically, is just we would realize that, okay, uh, it's we just, let's have fun with it. You see what I mean? That's what it is. Even I myself, as serious as I get most of the time, all the time I want to be laughing and joking around, then something happened, and then it turned me into that serious one again. Maybe it's not time. I mean, that's why we can propose it, but if God does not dispose, then we cannot move on. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it is, guys. And it's nighttime. We are at home. We're chilling. So we're just having a conversation. I'm so honored for your presence. I thank you for hanging out with us. So that's what that was. For those of you who have not already subscribe to the channel VTV. You see the logo is the yellow VTV and blue, which is the colors of the brand or some VTV. So what it is, it's like there's many other VTV for some reason, but ours is an acronym of our name, Vladimir L, or Vladimir L podcast, or whatever it is attached to it, which is what makes it the original. Though many more opened up and put us kind of, in a burara or something in a soup of VTV channels. Well, you shall find us. But until you help us reach a level of at least 1,000 subscribers, because the channel is new, you see what I mean? Then we will be able to just minimize the name or hashtag it to something specific like Selavi. You can just hashtag Selavi when you find us, because that's part of the podcast, Selavi podcast, or something like this. So what it is, and that's one of our hashtags, and the different other hashtags we want to choose, or it could be just VTV love or something like this. We can just make it a name that that is unique to us, but we don't have that luxury until we reach a certain amount of subscribers. So we are patient. We never rush anything. We don't even believe in rushing anything at all. You see, I mean, where everyone wants us to rush, we're taking it slow, baby. You see, because there's a need for it. There's a need for the turtle in life. There's a need for the rabbit. You see what I mean? So they both have a purpose, and they shouldn't be each other. They have to be who they are. That's what they serve. You see what I mean? So that's what it is. When people see something wrong in how you move and what you do, it's because they don't understand life. That's why you have to be understanding. Your best is not to take that as a judgment on yourself, you see, and think that you need to comply to or become the version they want you to, they want to fold you to be, or something like that. Then you do not serve them nor yourself, you see. The best thing is to remain yourself, you see. So that's why sometimes it's okay to be, still. It's okay to be, what's the word, I mean, whatever. You see what I mean? And not listen. That's why we had to start teaching in a way that we didn't want to say something, you don't listen, and give it a completely negative, intonation or something like that. But in reality, sometimes when we don't listen may serve us, because it depends on who's speaking. You see what I'm saying? So sometimes some things we hear, we wish we didn't hear. Sometimes some things we see, we wish we didn't see. So of course, when you don't listen, it may be a virtue at times. That's why there's a time for everything, you see, which is why we had to start the understanding of no good, no bad, whatever. You will, of course, understand why we say what we say, why we do what we do as we go. But from the get-go, it's gonna get what it gets, because, it may not be as, something as, popular yet or something. So the thing is like somehow, but it's getting there. You see, it's because truth is truth. You see, it's not. It doesn't depend on us understanding or not. You see, so the thing is like basically it's just we that's why we want to say it that way. Like it's not a good or bad if you don't listen. Blah, blah, blah. Listen to yourself. You see, that's all. So the thing is, the next thing we wanted to talk about besides the channel, and what you should expect with the Patreon page that's been activated, something like that, is that you will have front center seat of what goes on behind the scene as we go to the studio for music and recordings, and even the movies. Let's say we gather certain children or adults to start to develop one of our scripts or something like this, then you will be able to see whatever it is through the process of things, I mean, and stuff like this. And sometimes even there may be ways for investment, you see what I'm saying, stuff like this, and where you can get a return on your investments and stuff like this, because Netflix is a very great platform. All you need is people with a brain, I mean, with ideas and stuff like this, and then people who knows how to act and stuff like this, as professional actors and stuff like this or whatever. and then you put together a cast or something, a team, and then you develop the film. We all talk about it, we develop it, and when it's time to get the studio to develop the film and start filming, then we do that as well, because it's a project. You see, I mean, it unfolds, you see. So the thing is, most of the time you may not see something as you speak on the project, but as it is developing, you see, I mean, many people who becomes part of it may have certain ideas that are undeniable. You see what I'm saying? So it only gets better. The thing is that then we wanted to have a movie on Netflix or something like this, but we wanted to deal with Haitian actors mostly, just for support, because that's why you see Will Smith and others, you see they try to big up the Haitian community all the time in their films, and shout out to them, for that. You see, recently one of our own of Port-de-Paix in Haiti or something like this was part of the latest flick, the latest trilogy or whatever you call it, of Bad Boy. You see him in Bad Boy for Life, the last one. Great film indeed, for those who didn't see it yet. So the thing is, like, the Asian young actor, had his big debut in there and stuff like this, I mean, and we shout out to Will Smith for that, because that was his choice, and literally big up the country for that, and we are so proud of that young actor. And, we have to pick up the things, but the Haitian people is a little bit slow, I mean, it's when it comes to development and things like this, which is something we're not really judging them about. We understand where that comes from. You see what I mean? But at the same time, we have to say it as it is, so that we understand that we are stopping ourselves from evolution. Because the understanding of self, when you have someone in your people that is awakened to true potential or something like this, what they call, some will call, they get enlightened or whatever. This is an opportunity for any land that they come from to develop from that one being. They call it over here in the US the goat or something like that, which is, there's a myth or whatever it is. For those who are of Messianic descent, they would know the riding of the goat or something. My understanding of that is that there's one being, what you call the enlightened. Sometimes it's called the Christ, sometimes it's called Muhammad or whoever, something like this. When they come out, they have so much understanding of life that it will take you sitting with them for a moment, and you will have enough to develop, talents and all those sorts of things, and many will be able to benefit from that one person or something. And that's what they mean by riding the goat, meaning listen to them and do what they say, put it in practice, and then you can benefit in your individual life or something like this. But when I look around, I realize I thought there was no awoken Haitian people around, but I can name so many. And right here in this chat, I mean, I know many, you see what I'm saying? Because thank God I do not create followers of whatever, except leaders, you see, or something like this, and great minds. So it shows, that I'm on the right track. That's why I'm so always honored by the presence of anyone who comes to this chat, because I know what it takes to sit and listen. You see what I mean? So the thing is, like, basically, most of the time when you see the young Haitian people coming up like in themselves, this is the greatest achievement a man can even reach. That's why people may not get jealous for certain things, the king, whatever, blah blah blah. You may find someone who wants to be king, but when it comes to the enlightened being, you see the potential of that, like it's the point zero, the primordial being or something like this. The potential, anything can come out of that. You see, that's all land needs, you see, that's all it needs. Like right now we have many from India, yet that's why India always survive and now thriving in reality, because they have Deepak Chopra, they have many great ones or something like that, you see. But the problem with the Western world, they not like India. India, they nourish self-enlightenment. They will they create an environment for that being to evolve and exist in amongst them. You see what I mean? Because they understand the power in that, and for the land itself and the people. You see what I mean? Because most of the time it's so easy for us to go into darkness because we are here to play a game. But in playing the game, we lose ourselves, and which is something that's gonna happen. You see what I mean? So unless we
I got the cryptocurrency.
the
You gotta use a bank account. You can't use a card. They block the card. So
how much you got of it?
I got the XRP.
SRP, yeah.
It's like 0.19 right now. Cent.
I'm gonna follow you, right? Right.
So
All right.
You gotta use your bank account.
Not the card. It has to be the account number. Okay.
You automatically block the card.
All right, though. Look, I'm happy for you, though. But I'm right behind you. Yeah, yeah.
That's the next one they're talking. That's gonna hit
XRP.
like Bitcoin.
Yeah, no, of course. No, many of them gonna. That's why what you say is true. It's just we lost the Bitcoin boat long time. So find a new one. But I have a few more for you. I'll let you know that.
Because they got like a couple on the Uphold. You can use Uphold. I use an app called Uphold to get it.
Oppo, okay.
But you have to use a bank account. You can't use your card.
You can't use the
I think
card.
the card is in UK.
So good thing you found out.
Yeah. Because I'm like, let me just try my bank account. Let me run.
Oh, you just tried.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So, that's
Yeah, so all right, thank you guys for waiting. Because he was like trying to invest in this new crypto, but he couldn't get it done for the whole week. So now he just realized, what was the problem. So I'm happy that he got to invest it. So do your investments as well, because money saved is garbage. The best way to deal with money is through investments, and we listen to the great ones, the best ones among us when it comes to investments, like the Warren Buffett and all other great investors out there. Shout out to them. You see what I mean? And they always say it's an oxymoron to save money because it's not gaining any interest for you but for the bank, you see. But when you look outside and then see certain point of investment and stuff like this, you do some good investment, like wise investment and stuff like this. So don't worry about, okay, it's coming back. Just plant the seeds and allow them to grow. Because investment is a matter of time. You see what I mean? The longer you leave it to be, the more it will bring back to you. But sprinkle your money everywhere. You feel me? So that's what it is. And I hope your money stays safe as well because of the changes that are happening in the monetary system. But you have to understand why that had to happen. It always have to happen, but this time it has to happen. But we understand that our job, we didn't want to change the money, really, because we've done that many times over. It never served us, except that it come back the same. What we want to do and what we're supposed to do is to change the mindset of what money is and what we understand about money. You see, from a perspective of a money creator, not simply a money chaser. That's why I say that. There's a reason why I say that. But more we live, time will explain to us why. You see what I mean? So the thing is, like, basically, where were we? Sorry, guys.
You're not going to sleep.
The thing is, like, it's just when we were talking about the Haitian people being a bit slow and stuff like that. We understand that they want to follow like whatever norm and like like in a hive mind, part mind, whatever the thing is, which I understand. But the thing is, like, we will never go anywhere unless we become what we want to follow. You see what I mean? The thing is, it's not always about looking to what to follow, but it's what to create for himself sometimes. And then what do we represent as the people, the awakened children, the answer to the prayers of our ancestors, literally. You see, it's about putting into work the newfound understanding of self and stuff like this, because there's no greater achievement than to know oneself. That is the highest, the greatest achievement ever. You see what I mean? To know who you are and where you are from that, and then knowing what you need to be doing with yourself in existence or something like that. So Haitian people, they worry about hunger, they worry about this, they worry about that. But we have to understand that the solutions existed prior to the problems. And when the problems come, it is not God punishing us, which is something that I need to tame every preacher, every pastors, everything, that keep cursing themselves and the people, not knowing what they're talking about. We need to really reevaluate our teachings and things like this, because we literally are creating the storm for ourselves with the words. In the beginning was the word. We said these things for a reason. So the thing is like basically is that when they saying, oh, the poor, the whatever, blah blah blah, but what are we doing with that? You see, the reason it keeps happening is because of how we're vibrating, what we expecting, like the delusional expectations and certain things, like that is not serving other parts of the world, and we expect them to serve us as a people or something like this. If it doesn't work anywhere else, what makes you think it's gonna work for us? You see what I mean? The best thing, of course, the people they ask, yeah, the people they ask, use another one for now. Where? The people they ask, let me see how much I got. The people they ask or something like this, and what it is just they do not, yeah, they do not take advantage of the primordial forces or energies that the ancestors offer them, or what my mother and I mean, who represent an ancestor. I represent an ancestor, because the energy never dies. When we speak of ancestors, many people, you see, I mean, it's not wrong, but it's the level where they are in their consciousness. They will understand that it's something separate from them. There's no such thing as separation. You see, this is the time we have to know that for fact, not simply on the surface. You see what I mean? To know it for fact. Science. No, that's not so charger. It says charger. But not Samsung. Right? So what is this for? Anyway, ask Andrew instead for charger, or use your mom's for a minute. I don't know. Do something smart. But I'll give you, because I just need to keep this charged for a minute. So the thing is like, yes, thank you guys. You know how it is, late night, and children are running like little roaches all over the place. So the thing is like, what it is, it's yeah. So the Asian people somehow they need proper leadership, indeed. You see what I mean? Because the more, that's why we everything we do is for a reason. We have to say that, because that survival situation. You see, I mean, you cannot have leaders that think they need to survive something, but the minute that your leader to do that or something like this, then you literally belittle yourself. It's like putting your head, which is that leader, up your ass or something like that. You see what I mean? That is an oxymoron. That is stupid. You see, it's not the smart thing to do. So the thing is like, which is why you see the United States, when it comes to their leader, it doesn't matter what people think about it. Oh, Donald Trump is dumb or blah, 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 their business. But they're going to give him his due respect. They're going to give him that private jet. They're going to give him that private, well-respected and protected, because this is their leader. You see what I mean? That's what it is. They chose him to be. So they are to somehow give it a good look. That's because he represents them and who they are. There's no separation from the people and the leader of the people. You see what I mean? And then the all these cries for hunger and this and that, these things, they are simple things, easy to deal with or whatever. But people gotta understand, like what matters and what it is, what leadership is and what true leadership is, and how we can serve ourselves as a people or something like this. But until we realize that, then we will continue to perish. And the best we will offer ourselves is to chase some dream somewhere, or chase some crumb somewhere, and then expecting to get somewhere with that. You see, that's the best the Haitian people are offering themselves at the moment, including myself maybe. So what it is like, they're going after the crowns somewhere, blah, 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 thinking they're getting somewhere, which is nothing wrong. You do whatever you have to do. But at the same time, you have to understand there's things that needs to take priority. You see what I mean? Like, like why are you chasing something, and what's the end goal? If it's something about, oh, I just need to show my family I can have this house or that car or that woman or whatever, then this is, which is not wrong, but you cannot complain if your country or your people are in detrimental state. You see, because you're not thinking like men and women, really. You see what I mean? Because though we are programmed to think it's self-survival and this and that, but the greatest among us ever lived never really put themselves on anything first. That's why they were great. And that's the way of the universe. When we go and become the one connected with the universe, if our intention is only for self gratification and self praise or something like that, then the universe is not gonna open up as much. You see, that's why some people may get the enlightenment and then they just come out with a book, or they become famous for some reason until the next one overshadow them, or you see they will become enlightened and then they will serve humanity like Sadhguru's serving his land to the greatest, whatever one being. It's millions, literally millions of followers. Not only followers, I'm not just saying followers, because how many monkeys have millions of followers? You see what I mean? My like is just to see all these millions of followers are working with him in contingent, together, in unison. You see what I mean? Like to bring all the different lectures you see, the platforms, and the different books and the different things that are happening, and then the villages that are built, and the trees that are planted, the millions of trees, all through one being and stuff like this. You see? Then that's the power of one person who understands, who is connected to the divine of self, which is what I'm saying. Because you don't really need everyone. Like one of my people, or like should I say, the best, Calvin, you see, he said that it's not everybody is meant to be enlightened. And that's a truth that I had to come up to. Because I always want to force those things onto people. But at the same time, you have to remember you can be delusional with things. Because are we just one head going like floating in space? No, there's a body with fingers, this and that. And if humanity is supposed to be a body, but of course somebody's gonna have to be in the finger. Somebody is not a good or bad or right or wrong or greater than or whatever. None of that. It's just filling the gaps. You see. That's what it is. Where you belong, where you sit, where you fit, and it all comes to what you're already talking about, what you're doing, what you think of the world, what you think is the solution to things. All that puts you in certain position. Nobody needs to tell you. You see what I mean? So the thing is, like now, since do we all need the enlightenment? No, we simply need those that are part of the head to be enlightened. You see, and once they're enlightened, everyone else just will follow that. You see what I mean? It's that simple, because it's like the blacks, for lack of better word now, are coming to themselves with the coronavirus or the crown virus or the kingship virus. Oh, I'm king. I was a king. I'm attached to the kings of Kemet and whatever. Blah blah blah. That's that thing that we expected, right? So now that they come to it, then the delusion will come with that as well. To think that Egypt was just a land of a bunch of young kings running around. Like so many kings and leaders, it doesn't add up. You see what I mean? And our job is to be that bitter water at time to pull ourselves back to reality. You see what I mean? Because the thing is not about, okay, king, though it feels good, but there's other things in life. Everyone can content with who they are so long as they understand who they are. You see, our job is to make them be comfortable in their own shoes, understand who they are and love who they are, but not to pretend to be something they may not be. You see, like I say, may not be, because who are we to say who is part of kingship or not? You see what I mean? But our thing is that we know for a fact that it's a delusion to think that on the land there's all kings. You see what I mean? I mean, we can understand where the word, how we can use the word or whatever for an upliftment, which may be needed. Because on a time when we come into from an era where we used to be thought of or as 3/5 of a man or whatever the issue, or slave descendants or whatever the issue may be. So of course, the first, primordial instinct that's gonna come up is to survive and to cope with that. It's gonna be simply, oh, I was king, whatever. You see, I mean, it's some of how you call that, superiority of the thing. How he said, say do happy Ramadan, my brother. Thanks for coming. Comment ça va? You see, you and your family, may Allah keep you safe and accept your Ramadan, indeed. So the thing is like basically what it is just we simply gotta understand it's not all kings and queens and whatever, though if one is, all have the potential to be, but in reality not all will be. You see, that's the reality of things. So the thing is like now it's just because there's no progress in delusion. When you build and then that build is firm is when you build on rock, and rock is a term for the truth. You see, not delusion will be building on sand. You see, okay, we all delusional, arrogant, and thinking we're going somewhere. You're not. You see, I mean, we have to just know ourselves, know who we are, and accept that, and love that, and be that to the best of our abilities. You see what I mean? And love being that which you find out of yourself, as you would love your king or the one who is king of your land or something like that. But Haiti, you see, I'm only speaking of Haiti, but it's all over the world, of course. You see what I mean? But like we say, there are certain examples that we can take to better ourselves or something like this, like such as India. And now, the United States, even it's in its vicinity, they are trying to welcome have a better understanding and a better environment to nourish or to to allow the growth of like enlightened beings or something like this. If they were afraid of that for obvious reasons. We are aware, you see what I mean? We understand because of the same fact that we were talking about. They were afraid of it because of the same reason we say that once you have one enlightened one amongst you, that's all that is needed. You see what I mean? It's not something everyone needs to be, you see? But you will be so long as you have one, because that's the example amongst you. You see what I mean? It's for you not to have to worry about all of these things, but you just do what you do. You see what I mean? You live your life because it's all spirituality. You just need that guide. You just need that GPS, you see? And life becomes tolerable, loving, and happy for all. You see what I mean? So we may talk about this at greater depth in some other time. But now we wanna go back to what we came to talk about, which is what you see, which is what the brother spoke about. It was supposed to be the title of the podcast yesterday. You see, he was supposed to be talking about what to expect, because our job is not just to assist the ancestors in making things happen or whatever it is, and then after that just it happens, and then we content and we happy, we go to sleep, though we may feel worn out at times, but at the same time it's not the end of it. It's next now. You see what I mean? So the next, after we needed that time for ourselves within and whatever, you see what I mean? You know what I mean? So now it's how do we cope with it? Because not everybody's gonna be able to cope with it. Because remember, everybody loves to work for a specific reason. Sometimes running from self. You see what I mean, or something like that. Sometimes even I myself, when I had when I was in cell phone and stuff like this, just like brother say you do here. So what it is, I used to work 7 days a week, just like brother say you do. You see what I mean? 7 days a week, never take a break. Why? Because I felt like it was a vacation away from home. You see, because children growing, and I was my spiritual self and into Islam, studying. I always needed that quiet, which is something I give myself in the store. That's why I had a setting in the last store. I had a setting where there's chairs and table. People disagree. They're like, yo, people's gonna come and hang out. But I'm like, that's okay. You see what I mean? Because I just needed that space to just read a good spiritual book, or just go within. And sometimes I may open the book just to pretend that I'm reading it, but really I'm inside myself. But I just don't want to sit in the store and being inside of myself, so I pretend to be reading. I do that on the train and the other places, but I'm meditating in reality. But I do that because I get that quiet, that regardless of the setting of business around, but I can find that space in the store. So that I used to work so much because I felt I needed to run away from home and whatever. Blah, blah. That's why I recognize that. That's why when we help others, it's only through what we live. Is it something you read, you heard, or was it a part of you that you overcame? Yes, that's when it's most potential. You see what I mean? So what it is, it's like we had to realize that the next thing after people get to stay home, some may see it as a negative thing, but it is positive. There is positive in everything. It's only a matter of perspective. You see what I mean? So what it is like, so now what's going to happen is that many who used to go to work because that's when they get to go away and feel better, you see what I mean, or something like that, because not everyone really have that home setting, it's peaceful for them, they accepting of it, and they, I mean, it's always a challenge everywhere you go, right? So what it is, it's like some of us do find solace into our work space and stuff like that. So, and many can relate to that. That's why I do need to write maybe an article and put it on the Patreon page where people can dive into that thought. You see what I mean? So what it is like it's just we have to realize, like Brother Ralph mentioned in his latest videos, for those who follow Ralph Smart, he was mentioning how did we know that with the lockdown, because I was always for it, because whatever happens I always expect it to serve me somehow. So that's why I'm never in a position of things in life, because I live in a way that is so pure to myself that I don't expect anything negative to come my way unless it's something that needs to be. You see, it's gonna serve me, and he always has to serve me because I serve my world with every breath I take. So I cannot expect anything less, you see, or anything else. So the thing is like basically, so that's why I had to see it from a good perspective. I'm already an introvert, like they say. So of course it's not a problem to me, but is it all about me? No. There are some that are extrovert. How do they deal? So now my job is to give them the expertise of an introvert as they are extrovert outside of the element within the home kept. You see what I mean? So it's that simple. So the thing is like now, we want to make sure to give that advice that, you see, if work or outside and hanging out used to be your escapee or something like this, of course, that's when you're gonna wanna make noise, like, oh, I need to fight, whatever, blah blah blah, and start a whole noise of rara and chaos for just for your personal reason. See, that's the type of things that the universe may not like. You see, when you wanna create chaos for your personal gain, that's not how it works. You cannot attach yourself to the all only for your personal. You see what I mean? It doesn't work that way. You will burn yourself out. You see what I mean? So the thing is like basically you have to have something greater than yourself. You see, like an intention greater than yourself in order to find the true meaning of life and all of the true powers of being and stuff like that. So the thing is like what it is just you will find many want to start a riot, they want to start a chaos, they want to, but it's only for personal reason, really. Of course, they will say, because, misery love company, like, we're not saying they're miserable, but it's a miserable thing to make noise, you see, and waste energy and stuff like that. So we call it what it is. So the thing is like, when they come and make the noise and say all of these things, it may seem like it is something. It may seem like it's a wise decision because it may serve or whatever. But that's why we always talk about small s and big S of a solution. You see what I mean? So just because it may present itself as a solution, what kind of solution? Is it like a band-aid type of solution? Or is it a cure type of solution? You see, we have to think that way. You see what I mean? So the thing, that's why it's not always good, because so many things for personal reason I could have done, but I chose not to do them, because there's no power when you move for personal reasons, you see, especially when you're trying to mobilize for your personal reason, which is something that we find a lot. Many people become whistleblowers for personal reason. Many people want to fight certain government agencies, but they need the people help, but it's because of a personal reason. Many people will say things and sound good and you feel like, oh, that's a friend or whatever, but in reality it's not a friend. Why? Because that's not the reason. It's not a friendship reason that caused them to take that action. It was forced upon them. That's why your ancestors are always working on your favor. So all praises to the Most High. You see what I mean? So what it is, it's like when you see these things happen and then everybody's happy, yeah, you know, there's a hero or she's a hero or whatever. But in reality, oh, I'm fighting the child protective system because I was hurt by the child protective system. Though it may serve certain people, but it's not really gonna serve society really, because the intention is you coming at it like you're mad. And anyone who ever do martial art, you know not to go to an opponent or fighter opposing you with a mad state of mind. Because when you mad, it is only fear in motion. You see what I mean? When you're mad at something, it's you're afraid of something. That's what it means, right? That's why all animals that is cornered end up biting. Why? Because they're afraid for their lives. So when we do things in madness, like, okay, I was hurt, then I do that. Sometimes for it to have a purpose, it has to come from your heart. Like you feel that no, that's not right. It's not wait until you hurt by it, and then it becomes a danger to you and society. It's very important what I'm trying to tell you right now, because you know most of the time all of these things are part of the aspects of life that you live all day, but it's not easy to catch game or something like that. So we just want to make you understand that sometimes some people may do certain things, like say somebody do certain things like we just mentioned, like the whistleblowing and this and that, blah blah blah, or fighting certain things for personal reason. But most of the time they don't hide that. They say it is for personal reason because they feel the need that they need to do that for personal reason. But when I hear people do certain things for their personal reasons, I don't really, since I don't do things for my personal reason, then I don't really want to trust that. Meaning thinking that it's going to bring me a solution, or big S solution at best. You see what I'm saying? Why? Because it's too weak from its center, from where it comes from. It's a person. Who is the person? A delusion. Person does not exist. You see what I mean? The only thing that exists is the Most High, is God. So it's Allah, whatever you call it, Yahweh or something. That's the only thing in existence. You see what I mean? So what is it the person has to mobilize anything for personal reason? But for personal reason, certain things that has to happen is going to happen. Meaning if you were to be the voice of reason in your department or in your purpose or your journey, part of life or something like this, and you refuse to do that, then of course the collateral is going to be on you. That's when, you know, your children or someone is going to be a victim to something that you connected to, and then you're going to stand up and speak against it. But now it's not even in your favor anymore as the individual. You see, you may get the people to mobilize. You may get this, you may get that, because they themselves gonna see personal reason to listen to you and to mobilize with you. And then it's a bunch of people, you know, with an empty agenda, you see, but thinking they're going somewhere. So the thing is, like, most of the time it's just when we sit and we, you know, it's not about waiting. Like many people who work for the government, like right now, I'm keeping it real. Let's say they work for the government. You see what I mean? It's not as easy to say fuck the government, right? Because I say it's not, it's because many who stand against that same government used to work for the government. They were agents of the government. What happened that they speak against it now? It's because sometimes it's either they're not getting paid or that promotion or something personal, you see? Or they get disrespected, they didn't get that Purple Heart, or they didn't get that, you see what I mean? Something personal. We're not saying it's wrong, but we're just letting you understand where solution comes from. It doesn't come from a personal pain or something like that. You see what I mean? It has to do when you feel for others more than you feel for yourself. That's when power is in your movement as someone who's mobilizing things. You see what I mean? It cannot be for a personal reason at all. So the thing is, like, basically, so they would, what everybody is worshiping and whatever, like clapping, but at the same time, I do not do the worship that much. So what I do is analyzing at the same time. As everybody is worshiping and clapping, then I'm trying to analyze, listening to the in between words and see what caused the being to be in that position. Because who really wants to be in the forefront of a fight? Unless you have to. Nobody really wants to do that. You see what I mean? So that's the thing. But sometimes we either have to find the courage, or it's gonna have to be orchestrated. You see what I mean? So that's why we tend to follow the great, what I mean, that says Alhamdulillah for everything. You see what I mean? Whatever happens, Alhamdulillah. So the thing is, like, basically it's just that we wanted to make sure we understand that. That's why when we hear the noises outside and people speaking, oh well, fuck this, fuck that. I mean, like the great doctor Shiva recently had a show. Oh, he's having many shows. His reason, I mean, not the only reason, of course. So, but his reason for going against certain things, it's because you know, they try to fuck with him. You know, he is literally the creator of how you call it, of emails or something like. He literally created emails in the 80s or something like this, I believe. You see what I mean? And then he never got credit, and emails became part of society worldwide or something like this. So of course, that's something that is painful. Everybody needs to get their fair share and their credibility. Sometimes when I speak of credibility, not really for myself, but to make it part of the fabric of society, because we need to leave that sentiment behind of being like that part that that robs someone's of their uniqueness and energy. You see, let it be. You see, I mean, and see how you can make it work for you, but don't steal someone's uniqueness. You see, but society tend to do that all the time. But it doesn't serve. You see, you may serve one, not even to the best, because the one who gets served by it is gonna regret it in the end anyway, because that's not how the universe works. You see what I mean? So the thing is, like, you will go and then you would say certain things, but you have to understand the pain. You see, they are coming from where they're coming from. You see, that's the thing. It's like, there's certain things that is being done, but it's from pain. When we are in pain and we're trying to react, not act, it's a reaction. So reaction does not create a new world. It's only action that may create a new world. You see what I'm saying? So that's why we need ourselves to understand too. I needed to say this is because many people are asking, oh, why this has to happen? Why it keeps happening? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it keeps happening because you're doing the same thing and expecting different results. You see what I mean? So the thing is, like, literally, it's just that's why when I hear the talks and the bashing and all of these things going on, I do not tend to participate, except that I do what I do. I just stay still and listen. You see, I don't join a group to fight anything. I don't. You see what I mean? Because the best fight you have to fight is the fight that you have against yourself. You see what I mean? That's the only fight you need to fight for this moment. You see what I mean? Anything else is really secondary. You see? So the greatest thing you could ever overcome is yourself. And many people I see, they due to the level of consciousness and stuff like this, that's why we have to say that, because we cannot say it's wrong, because it's just how they are perceiving things. You see what I mean? So what it is like they will think, certain actions need to be taken. They will think this, they will think all sorts of things. They will think that, oh, we need to be chaotic, we need to be this, we need to be all of that. But in reality, I mean, that's not really the answer. You see what I mean? But they are just saying that for different reasons that we really do not need to go over or something like this. You see? But it is what it is. But at the same time, since it is what it is, we gotta make it what it's supposed to be at the same time. You see what I mean? So we can get the favorable results that we need or desire or something like that. So the thing is, like, what do we do when we are at home? Like, for those who are at home and stuff like this, we get together, we understand this is, when it comes to family matters, we like to make it a personal thing. I want to make a note when I'm talking about the personal thing. For those who are trying to reach me through Messenger, I see the connections and stuff like this. But I'm looking into it, and we will connect. Don't worry. I'm a slow mover. I take my time, you see, because there's so much we deal with or something like that. But we see that there's need for the connection. Many people are asking to connect and stuff like this. We keep seeing it. And Only thing, don't think we ignoring. We literally know that we're supposed to connect, but except that we, continuing things, and then at the proper time, you see what I mean, and then we will connect indeed. You see, so because we wanted, though we know that before, what we wanted to do is to connect through the messengers, and then we do if we have to talk, have a conversation, or about family, like survival, and whatever the situation may be about life in itself. So we said messenger was the best way to reach us, which is why, now many people are trying to connect. But it's been a long time, and then we always evolving and stuff like this. So what it is, we created this Patreon page where we wanted to give you that private space instead. You see, though Messenger may be private or something like that, but the other page is even more private because there's more that come to it. And we wanted to make everything in a one way that we don't lose the connections and stuff like this, but we have that one space, you see. But for the sake of times and moving forward, of course, we will answer to whoever reach out to us on Messenger. But at the same time, we will redirect you to our Patreon page, because this is where we're gonna talk to each other, heart to heart. You see what I mean? And stuff like this. But for the ones, to go back to it, what's up, Anan? Good night, my brother. So for the ones, yeah, with that being said, yeah, being at home, a lot of us used to find peace at work, you see, like myself, you see. I always run 7 days a week away from home because I wanted to be away from little children, because I couldn't handle the noises and that, whatever. So it used to be a peace of mind for me, you see what I mean? I used to love being at work. But for the ones who are living in that position now and have to be forced to be at home, that's why, like Ralph must say, more domestic violence now is at the rise, and abuse is at the rise, sexual and physical and stuff like this is in the rise. Why? Because now the energies, if they are not at peace and they are not mature, then they stay together in one space. It's only gonna be that. You see what I mean? Which is something we already expected. Though Ralph Smart inspired us to come and say it tonight, but that was supposed to be yesterday. We didn't do that. So now we realize that it's something that must be said, because look, now Ralph Smart already spoke about it. You see what I mean? I mean, he didn't say what about it, but he did mention that it's happening. He was telling us that it's something that is happening because of the lockdown and things like this. Me, myself, who is an advocate for the staying home, because to me it's better safe than sorry, and I hate misguiding people, and I hate putting people in harm's way. I would rather put myself first. So of course, where I could go outside, I would not advise someone else, but doesn't mean they don't have the right to. You see, when I say, okay, when you ask me what do you think we should do, and I say I think you guys should listen to the authorities and stay home, it doesn't mean you do not have the same right I have to just say, you know what, I need outside, I'm going. Of course, you still have your right, which is what everyone need to understand. Many people now are saying, oh, our rights are being taken away. It's impossible. Who are you? You are an energy. You see, energy can never be contained. You see what I mean? The body can be contained. That's the danger of being identified with the body too much, you see. When you think you are the body, then you are in trouble. Why? Because the body can be contained, it can be destroyed, it can, a lot of things can happen. It can be hurt, you see. But the more you disassociate yourself or know that you are not the body, yet you have a body, then you are safer, you see. And a lot of time you do not have to vibrate in fear. Why? Because of that fact that you know within yourself, you see what I mean? So the thing is, like, basically, it's like it cannot happen that someone take away your rights. They are God-given rights. In reality, somebody have to be greater than God himself or herself to take away the rights of the children of God. You see what I mean? It's not possible. But the possibility only comes through the mind. If it is not properly guided, it's not mature. Through your mind, you can think your rights are taken away. You can think this. You can, just like a horse. Sometimes some people will just put the horse to the ground and then tie the horse to a chair. The horse has the power to pull the whole damn house. yet it's tied to a chair and stay in place. But because in its mind it thinks that it is attached to the ground, it cannot move. But that's only in its mind, you see, which is why it's so important to listen to those who master themselves, master their minds. But their mind is not a master over them. You see, because the friend, like even Muji always say, that his message recently even more and more because it's needed now, is that the mind is not your friend yet. You see, it's never your friend. But if it is to be your friend, you're not that friend to it yet, because it's master over you for now. You see, but it becomes your friend when you know yourself and when you are the master of it. It's not. It doesn't own you, but you own it. You see what I mean? So that's the thing. So whatever your mind tells you, you must run it through the chambers of the heart. You see, because let mother have a say, because the mind is a child in the equation. You see what I mean? So the thing is, like, most of the time we're gonna think, okay, we have a lot of data in our minds, we read a lot of books and whatever, so we think this is guidance. But the more we read, the more we know, the more questions come from every word we read or something like this. So we were more confused than we know something. That's why you think you know, but you have no idea. You see what I mean? And that wisdom, what is wisdom? It's to know the difference between the wise one and the knowing one. Is the one who knows don't know that he doesn't know. But the one that knows that he doesn't know makes him wise. You see, makes him or her wise. So that's what it is, guys. So the thing is, like, somehow, to go back to what we were talking about, is like, when you are at home, of course, you are frustrated, especially if you have a lot of people in your ears stressing you out. The news is on the other side stressing you out. They're confusing you. They're telling you to run, to fear something or whatever. So you're in that corner vulnerable. You see, you feeling very vulnerable and stuff like this. And then the reaction, you know, it's like a chemical explosion. You see what I mean? It's going to happen. You get mad at the children and you hurt them. You hurt the wife. You hurt the partner. You hurt whatever. But the thing is that, but the true thing you need to do is to not give too much mind to the mind of yourself or others. You see, when we say of yourself is one thing, but of others, meaning those that are talking to you, when they are talking from, oh, I read this, or I heard that all the time, then that may not be the best thing for you. Sometimes the more you want to be safe, the less safe you become. You see what I mean? Because you have to do so much to find that safety, then you end up hurting yourself in the process. You see, sometimes that's why you have to leave it up to the Most High. Because certain things, whatever you cannot handle, there's a part of you or something in reality that is able to handle it for you. You see what I mean? So that's why there's no need to panic all the time or whatever, this and that or something, you know, but there may be time for it, a time, I don't know. But you know what I mean? But this may not be the time. Because right now the ancestors or Most High or God or whatever give you that time only to go within, which is something that must be done. Because in order to evolve, of course, you're going to have to go within, meaning to work on yourself. You know, whatever it is, if you cannot understand what you don't like in yourself, then look outside of yourself. Who do you hate in your vicinity? Like, okay, a neighbor, a family member or something. Now the next thing, once you find out who you hate, why do you hate them? The reason. Because there's always a reason for things. Yeah? So find the reason why you hate them, you see? And then that reason why, and then now once you find that reason that makes you hate them, then you go within yourself and find that same thing within you, you see? And then now you work on that. And then always be mindful of it, you see? Like, okay, I hate that, you see? Okay, when you find yourself in a position to do the same, then remind yourself, you, yourself, and you, remind yourself that you don't like that, you see? And then you tame that part of you. And then as you keep on doing that exercise, it goes for all aspects of things. But as you're doing that exercise, it becomes you see? Then that aspect of you is healed. It's no longer exists. And then at the same time, you may not have changed the person that you hated. The fact that you changed it within yourself now give you, you know, a boost of energy and confidence now to deal with that person, with that trait that you hate in a more, you know, loving manner or compassionate manner, because it does not hurt you. It's not part of you anymore. Therefore, you don't feel it the same way anymore. You see, because when you hate something outside of you, it's only reminding you of something within. That's how he was able to be connected to you. If you can feel it, it's because there's a connection of it with you. You see, although it's just like I was saying the other day, to give you an example. If I call Bill Gates a bum, let's say, or a poor bum, do you think it's gonna hurt Bill Gates? No, because he doesn't see himself as such. He may laugh even. You see what I mean? If he's hurt, it's only because he sees himself as that bum. He recognizes the truth in it. You see what I mean? Something to work on himself. Like, let me work on my financial goals and change that. Because you can change what people see. You can only change how they see you. You see what I mean? So that's what it is. You see? So that's the way that's going to help us be the best version of human that we're supposed to be, incapable of creating that same hell we're trying to escape right now. So the thing is, like, basically, as we are home or something like this, then we have to make that conscious decision. Okay, we home. And first, to be able to do it, you have to at least, count your blessings first. All right? Because once you start counting your blessing, it's going to put you in a mode of gratitude. And when you're in a state of gratitude, you are in a very strong state, you see, where you can see things a bit clearer. You see what I mean? Because the more you focus on the positive and the blessings, then the more you may manifest blessings for yourself, because you become the embodiment of blessing. Now, remember, when we send out the vibration of fear and whatever, doubt and all of these things that we're doing to ourselves all the time, then we only get that in return, because Saturn, the moon, they only reflect it back to you. You see, that's what we have to understand. So that's why it may not make sense when we say stay home, listen, those days, though, that it may make more sense when people come in and reacting to it. Oh, fuck that, I'm gonna fuck everybody up, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It may make more sense to the animal self, you see, instinct of self, the survival instinct of self. But doesn't mean this is the proper solution that we should take on or something like that. You see what I mean? Like I said, I'm not saying it is or it is not. I'll leave it up to you, because here we're here to help each other become the master, not to show you what to see and how to be. You see what I mean? We are very careful how we handle things. So the thing is, like, basically, is that you just first start counting your blessings. You see, as you count your blessings, so now it will calm you down. Now you're feeling content and happy, and you start saying, okay, let's say, for instance, to keep it real, because I like to keep things live and real. So let's say you out of work, you have children, so you worry, okay, where am I gonna get to feed my children? Where this and that. So now you look in your blessing to be grateful to God, because this is one thing you don't want to be ungrateful, you see. So the thing is, like, basically, now you see, okay, there's solutions. Unemployment thing, it's not like you have to go to the office of things, but that's just a solution. I'm not saying that's what it is for everyone, but I'm just showing you how to count your blessings. You see what I mean? So the thing is, like, and then you say, okay, thank God, you see, the government does its job, you see, which is sustaining us, because it is them that told us to stay home. It's not that we chose not to work for our children. So now they have to give a solution. That's leadership. Leadership is not only tell people stay home and then you leave them to survive on their own. No. As you take one step, and then you have to already have the second for what comes next. That. You see what I mean? The ripple effect of things. You see, and that's pertain to every step. So what it is, it's like, once you do that, you say, okay, yeah, this is happening, and you handle that peacefully and be happy and grateful with that, and focus on those things as well, like as the happy things as they are. But of course, at the same time, for those who want to invest, and that's the smart thing, you invest that money, whatever, more than you spend or whatever, you do the right thing, mature thing for yourselves and your family and stuff like this, and it will give you a peace of mind, calm in your heart or something like that. So once you get that, then you continue to do next. Okay, my children, at least there's a sickness out there. At least I'm safe. I don't have it. My children are protected. So far, they are not affected. That's another blessing. You will see that as well and be happy with that. And the more you keep on counting, the more you're going to find reasons and things to count of your blessings. So now, once you do that now, then of course, the wife disturb you, the children disturb you. That now they may take you out of that serene state of mind or whatever. You see, then now the best you can do is to sit it out. You see, because Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing be upon him, always used to give this advice to his followers, the Sahabas. He would say to them when they get mad, first he would say la takdab, la takdab, la takdab, 3 times. Do not get mad, do not get mad, do not get mad. But if you get mad, you human, of course we have to keep it real. If you get mad, because it happens, so make sure to if you are standing up, sit down. You see? Because when you stand up, you're ready to go. Throw that hands. Not like that uppercut. What you do, you sit down. Sit. So once you sit down now, what's gonna happen? Now you kind of, how would I say, neutralize the hands. You see what I mean? So now you sit, and then now if you still feel heated, you lay down. You see, and then once you lay down, then a state of calm may take you over, and then the whole thing shall pass, because every storm has an end, as it has a beginning. So the thing is, like, now, once you do that, most of the time when we home and then we fight with the spouse or whatever, the best we used to always do with the advice we get is that walk out and just take a walk or whatever and breathe it out. So, but if you don't like that, so you gotta take that walk within. You see what I mean? So you take the walk within, you take the walk within or something like this, and then you remind yourself, what I do myself is understanding. I seek understanding. Why is this happening? You see, what is trying to teach me? What is trying to show me? You see what I mean? Because that's how you have to see life, though. Because nothing is really out to get you. Most of the time, it's you after yourself, you see. The thing is, like, you just be like, what is it trying to serve me? Because there's nothing in existence that does not serve the human being, the children of God. The animals themselves, as you, some people would say, oh, that's animal cruelty when we kill the animals. But when those who don't just go with it and but analyze it, I hear both sides. No, animal cruelty, animal cruelty. But now, okay, when I see a video where, not even a video, I have friends with poultries and house of those things all over the place. Sometimes when I out to their business and stuff like that, see how they kill certain animals or whatever. So the thing is, like, but even me myself, one time I was in Long Island and I needed some work, and it was too much for me to travel here to the cities and stuff like this. So I had a friend with a poultry or whatever. So now he said, yo, anytime you need money, just come put some hours in. You see what I mean? Because God make my life easy, you see what I'm saying? Because I don't live for myself all the time, you see? So the thing is, like, he would be like, yo, my business is your business. You need money, just come in, you see what I mean? Because the man is not gonna give me money because I'm a man, right? So the best he can do is to give me that respect, saying, come use that business and make your money. That's literally what he tells me. You see what I mean? Just use this business, make your money. Whatever money you make is yours, you see? So I would just go work or whatever, but my thing is that I couldn't find the strength to kill an animal. Though I eat them animals. I eat them. You see me? Because the problem is that when you have them, seasoned and in the oil, like, it's something about them, the colors, guys, you see, and the taste and the smell, all of that. So you get me. So the thing is, like, I was like, okay, I eat it, but I couldn't kill it. You see. So that's why I was like, yo, it's not. But he had to show me too, like, and I've seen many other videos that when they say the name of God on the animal, let's say, Bismillah, let's say in the name of Allah, they would say to the animal. It doesn't matter what language you use. You see, the animals will understand because they're not speaking the language, they're speaking the vibration, the intention. They get it. So the thing is like when they said that, the animal literally stopped fighting and then lay down in position to be slaughtered. You see? So I get that. Because the thing that what makes it a act, because in reality, that's why I had a lot of problem with a lot of great teachers. You see, because my, what you want to call it, philosophy or whatever, it's kind of to most unorthodox, or it's not common or whatever. I will tell them, killing is not bad. Killing, when you kill once or for a reason of saving yourself or your family or something, God doesn't mark you down as a killer. A killer is someone who just kill for fun. That's what they do, you see. But someone who kill not for habit or fun, not of sport, but for a situation, to survive a situation, then that didn't make them a killer. You see, even a liar, someone who tell a lie because they wanted to safeguard themselves, that doesn't make you a liar, according to Islamic literature even. You see, what a liar is someone who keeps on lying for no reason. You see, that's why even the one who eat the pork for survival, God or Allah does not see them as a disobedient person. You see, He see them as a survivor. You see, that's, we have to understand the merciful aspect of God. You see, or God's self. And understand how it works. But that's why most of the time when we misunderstand these things, we make life hard on everyone to the point where people run away. You see what I mean? We make it hard. So the thing is like basically it's just once you get that, you try to understand something what's happening. You see what I mean? And then don't be too much in the mind as well. You see, except just be a passenger or just the listener. You're listening. You have to disassociate that mind of that you are that mind too. You have a mind. That's why you say my mind, my body, I am. Because you cannot say my I, because you can't own yourself. You see, you can't hold yourself. You see, you can't see yourself. Though you are seeing, the mirror give you that illusion of seeing, but you can't truly see yourself. You are seeing the body that house self or something like this. But you cannot see self, you see? It can't happen. Just like you can't kiss your lips. You cannot, you see what I'm saying? You cannot see your eyes or pupil or whatever. You feel me? So the thing is like somehow, when you say thing, it's a tool in existence for you to use to your detriment or your evolution. You see what I mean? It's up to you. You can do both. But the thing is like basically, you have to remember you're not that mind. The mind is always gonna worry, tell you, oh, do that. Oh, look what this bitch tell you, whatever, get mad or whatever. You see, but at the same time, you have to tame and then understand, okay, it's not your response or your reaction that's gonna fix anything. But sometimes you just let it be, allow it to be, that storm to pass, and you see what I mean? But I'm saying use your own discernment, because sometimes, like the brother said, quiet, there's time for it, there's time to speak up, there's time, you see what I mean? There's time for everything. You see, it's when you do things out of place, then it create a problem for you. It's not what you do, but it's when you do it sometimes in that aspect. Sometimes we say it's not what you say, it's how you say. But in this aspect, we say sometimes it's not what you do, it's when you do. You see what I mean? What should I say? So the thing is like, that's what it is. We just gotta understand that the future that we are creating, it's not a future where we're gonna take with us the ill aspects of ourselves. It's not the future where we're gonna be the abusers of ourselves. Like we're abusing each other, like the wife abuses its authority and take over voice and try to control whatever is beyond her control, whatever. Because it takes two to tango. You see what I mean? Because there's no one blame without the other. You see? So the thing is like basically is that we would just say, okay, the best is what is just to listen, and then be mindful, understand, you see, what the partner is trying to say or something like this, and then, work it out. Because we have to reason with one another from now on. It's not only about bickering at each other or something, but we listen and we try to find solution. Or like, why are we fighting? Why is it? Sometimes it may be a coping mechanism. It becomes that. I know that's why life is not that simple that we can just say, let's talk about it and it's done today. You see, look what just come up. It's the coping mechanism. There's an aspect of that too. Sometimes the women or the woman or the men, due to where they are from or the type of journey they had or something they overcame, so they find solace or they find tranquility in reacting that way. It helps them cope. It makes them feel in control or something for some reason. We have to find ways to deal with that, you see, or something. So there's always a way. That's what you have to understand. You see, there's always a way. When you can't see the way, doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. You look in your vicinity, and if you don't see it, ask your ancestors within yourself. Just pray. Oh my God, I know there's a way to deal with this. I don't know why. Who can help me in this? Once you say this out loud or in your heart, then you're gonna find someone that come, whether on Facebook or in your neighborhood or whatever, and then they will and settle that. You see, it's that simple. You always have what you need surrounding you. So the thing is like you just gotta know what you need. That's the most challenge, to know what you need. Like right now, knowledge is open. You see what I mean? So now the challenge is to know what you need to know, because you can't know it all. You cannot run after every knowledge. So now there's knowledge that's not gonna lead you anywhere. So how do you find the knowledge you need to know? That's the challenge. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is that that's what it is. It's just know that, you see, there's always a help surrounding you. Even I myself, right now, to tell you the truth, what I have, what I can offer myself in my world, if I have to, to liquidate the amount of help I can bring to my community and my society, then I should be beyond Bill Gates' money at the moment, in my eyes. You see what I mean? Because I know my understanding of life. I know what I'm capable of. But sometimes how would people know what they need? You see what I'm saying? They don't know it, because it's the challenge. It's not to find what you need. That's the challenge. No. You see, it's to know. It's not to become successful. But what do you want to be successful at? See what I'm saying? Because you are everything already. So it's to find that which is going to serve you, make you happy. That's the challenge. You see, because it's not success. That's why anyone who thinks success is hard need to reformulate or create their circles, because it's not hard at all to succeed. Anyone who succeeds will tell you to succeed is the easiest part. To maintain success may be the hardest. Or to find what to succeed at, as I said just now, may be the hardest. You see what I mean? Because the more you work at something, sometimes, most of the time, we go after something because it's popular. But that's not what makes us happy. We will get that success, yet feel still the void. Why? Because that's not what our hearts wanted. You see what I mean? We go with what society wants of us, but we don't go with what we want of ourselves. You see? That's the danger in itself. So the thing is like, we just gotta do that. And then, you see, we have to create like, our home have to be a safe haven for ourselves. You see, that's literally what it is. But if you see the abuse and then all of the things going up and things, it is expected. You see, it's the stress. Like we said, the human being is not capable of that level of stupidity or toxicity all the time. You see, the environment has to create that state of mind. You see, which is why I so focus on the environment. First, I am the environment, but as I, evolve myself or become more understanding of things and become an asset to my world instead of liability, for those who love to speak in commercial terms. So what it is that's what it is. We do that. We become an asset to our world, meaning we find our uniqueness. We know what we offer, and then there will be a niche or a group of people who's in dire need of that uniqueness, because you went through the journey to be the answer of that to that group of people. All you have to do is to have this platform. At the same time, remember, we do help YouTubers. If you ever find your uniqueness and you wanna create your platform, reach out to us on that too. You see. So the thing is like basically, it's just you do that. You see, you find understanding. And another way, again, myself, I tell everyone, the lovers, those closest to me, on the frequency of love and stuff like this, those that are very close to me, whatever. So what I tell them is that to be creative. That was my advice to them in the beginning of this lockdown, or whatever you call it. You see what I mean? So to be creative, stay creative. Not only count your blessing, and then be creative after that. Meaning find things that you enjoy. You see, like let's say you like to draw, get involved deeply in that. Buy antique canvases and buy paint, buy brushes and start painting what you're feeling. Put it into arts. And if you write music or lyrics or whatever, articles, whatever. You see what I mean? Books, do something you love and enjoy. But at the end of this, everybody tell you should come out victorious. Victorious, most of when they speak of victorious, since they are mostly commercial leaders, or should I say, people pertaining to finance, they mostly focus on come out with a new idea or new business or new investment or new money. But since that's 1% of actuality or life, then what we say about the other 99%, you see, we have to focus on the 99% of things as well. So what do we do? You see, as they say, the art will serve, because the thing with art is that it opens up certain channels of the brain, and it creates that bridge between the two brains as well, where they end up working together instead of against each other. You see what I mean? You will be in an harmonious state or something like this, and then your creative juices will flow freely up your spine and down. So the thing is, like, basically, he helps with that. You stay creative, and then once you are creative, then you won't feel as, restrained or constrained. What's the word? Or locked up, or whatever we say. You see what I mean? You won't feel as much because you're enjoying yourself, and you will find that time passes fast as well when you are having so much fun. So that's the thing. You see, you're vibrating so fast and high that time too is moving with your speed. So the thing is like, that's the thing. You give yourself the time, and once you keep your mind occupied, then you won't have time for negativity or toxicity or fights or none of that. You see, but if the energies, of course, they may need to test you or take you out of your serene state or something, then they may come and try to challenge that and try to start that fight or whatever. So now when this happens, then that's when you go in yourself and remember that it's not when you react that's gonna make it any better. At least you listen to try to do something different this time. You see, yes, I understand how we were raised, or stand up for yourself. Most of the time, standing up for yourself doesn't mean putting yourself more into harm's way, to hurt yourself more, thinking you have to fight or be yelling or fighting, and he hurts you more than he helps you. You see, if you know anything about yourself, you see, energetically, chemically, or whatever, you see what I mean? Organically even. So what it is, it does hurt you more than you think. So that's why we need to start learning to cope with things on a different or more healthy manner, right? So what it is, we will seek understanding to understand things instead. We listen, and we do not associate, or whatever they say, whatever, don't associate with it. Okay, it's just an opinion. Okay, you hear, or whatever. You see what I mean? Because remember, no one can tell you your path more than yourself. No one may understand you more than yourself. So you have to be the one to be that for yourself. So if he does not, the others don't understand and know whatever, then do not hold them that against them, because they shouldn't understand, because that's something unique to you. No one can be you better than yourself in this life. There's not gonna be another version of you the same again, ever in existence. So you have to understand your uniqueness, you see, to understand where people come from when they cannot understand. And that's what gives you a voice, a reason to have a business as a podcast, where you share your uniqueness, your voice, which is unique to you. Of course, people is gonna gravitate to it because it's not them. And you know us, we don't waste time in things we already have or know. We go for what we don't know, which is the next being that we don't know. You see, which is why we speaking. When you speak, I'll go and listen. Why? Because we attract each other with that uniqueness. We can't help it. We have to come and hear it. Why? Because it's a part of ourselves that is outside of ourselves. You see what I mean? So what it is that you just be okay. You see, that's what it is. It's just uh, you don't need to do the fighting. So the thing is, like, I kind of feel bad because the ancestors kept telling me that that was supposed to be long time ago done and talked about. And you know, the thing about the truth, when you speak it and from an intention that is pure, then once you reach the ethers or something like this, then it's gonna have the effect that it needs to have. The person that's gonna get help from those words don't even have to be on the life in reality, but it's gonna reach them through the ethers, because through the ethers we are all connected anyway. You see, even the overmind, it's all connected. You see, so the thing is, like, somehow it's gonna happen because you know somebody exactly needs those words. You see, exactly, that's what's gonna serve them for the time being. Perfect. So the thing is, like, basically we just gotta just be patient with each other, and then of course if you feel cornered, there's always an answer. Find before we create, mobilize to hurt or destroy whatever. And if there's no other alternatives, you see what I mean? Like, listen to different type of voices. Those that are saying to calm, to stay calm. Those that are saying to fight, of course. And then now, don't just take it for what it is. Understand the differences in the opinions. Why? Try to even investigate. Like, why do you think it's the best thing we have to do, or whatever? And then as you know that, then you go to the one that says stay peaceful. Why do you think this is the best? You see what I mean? Question things. Don't just think you know it. You see, question things. That's the best thing. So, and then now, once you have the two answers, you will weigh it out with your own intelligence, and then discern which one serves you best. You see what I mean? Because you will be able to see the true solution through it, or something like that. You see? So the thing is, like, you just find out, and then you know, because there's always gonna be a time or reason to panic, maybe. Oh, no, my next check or whatever, my next meal or whatever it is, my next rent or my next mortgage or whatever. Then you find out what is the solution. You see, like, how could you get that done? You see, once you raise the issue, then the solution will present itself. But you first gotta know there's a solution out there. But if you don't expect the solution, then you just go in your mind and thinking, okay, there's nothing, and you panic. Then that's what you did to yourself. You see what I mean? The thing is, like, basically we just gotta do those type of things and understand that it's something is out there always to help, to assist, and to sustain. You know what I mean? Because this is the fabric of the universe. There's no such thing as scarcity. There's abundance surrounding you. You see what I mean? So the thing is, like, somehow you just, that's why we taught ourselves and our lovers and our friends, our followers or whatever, the subscribers, to be grateful and count their blessings, and they are at peace, they are happy. You see what I mean? Because you know, most of the time when you hear these words at first, when you first heard of corona or whatever's going on, the lockdown, blah blah blah, then you panic. That's natural. You see what I mean? And then when you hear someone like me say something like this to you so peaceful, it doesn't make sense, you see, at first. But once you trust it, then you start seeing, oh, I see. Even if you don't understand how, but at least you see the feeling, you see what I mean? And then that's why even in the dreams, you may not remember what we see, but forget not how you felt. Because the biggest language is the feeling. It's not really the words. You see what I mean? Words is pretty primitive when it comes to language. You see what I mean? So that's what it is. So you know what I mean? So it's like we have to assist, you know, in our neighborhood and people and those who hold platforms as well, speak these type of words into existence. You see, because someone will hear it, and it will bring them some peace in their homes and stuff like this. Because we did expect that. Because when imagine people already on that animalistic survival state, so of course the first thing they're gonna wanna do is to destroy each other. You see, or something like that. But if they find that voice of reason, of wisdom that already showed them there's a better way, then you at least give them an alternative idea, you see? So something else to do, you see, that may serve them better than just killing one another or something like this or each other. So that's what it is, you see what I mean? But we will, of course, we have to talk about, continue our talk on another time. It's late or whatever, and we don't know. You guys probably may want to go to bed. It was like me, myself, I was literally disturbed, which is becoming a norm somehow. Find that little sleep on time, and then a little one just come and show you a funny video on TikTok. And now you have to find your way back to sleep, and it may never happen. Like last night, this morning, I'd say, I had to see the sun coming up before I had to get to some sleep. I couldn't believe it. That's one thing I don't like doing. My night travel, I don't disrespect that. You see, I like to give the body that right. You see, and the spirit as well, that right to go and replenish itself and go and travel and do what it does, because energy shouldn't be contained. If I stay up all night, then spirit just here too. It's just like, okay, I'm on lockdown. Literally. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is, like, you gotta just do that, let it go. Of course, some of us, we enjoy the night. Like me, I enjoy being up at night. You see what I mean? But I know too that it's not a good thing, because there's no sleep of the day that's ever gonna replace the night sleep. You see what I mean? So that's the thing. I was like, that little hand and little fist in your face, like, Dad, look, maybe I'm sleeping. But in reality, inside you, there's a lion going like, motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Look how you walked me the fuck up, why you did that, you little monkey, whatever. But you're like, baby, why you wake me up? But inside you is something else. That's why sometimes, like that show, you need to have a translator for these children so that they can know exactly how you feel. You see what I mean? Like, or something like that. But we all get the disturbance. We all get the same thing, except that we deal with them differently sometimes. You see? But the better way, is because what's the point of getting together in a family and then not getting along or something like this? The connection was happening or something like that. You see what I mean? We just gotta keep it great and happy. You see? So it is very important. It's something that I again apologize to my ancestors and then to the people for my will, because that was an idea. Now, before the email was made, I mean, Ralph Smart said that today in a video, but of course it was something that we wanted to talk about. Now it makes me feel bad. That's why I say, I don't give a damn what time it is. I'm gonna make it right. So, but that was what I was supposed to be talking about in the get-go, because we expected that. Of course, that's going to be the next thing. Like, okay, we stuck together, now we're going to fight. Because remember, we said that live before, that even Hollywood always show us the animal selves, you see. When you take a lot of young people, or old, whatever, put them under one roof and see how they react with each other. There's no humanity. You see, they just fight. It's always about, like dog eat dog or something like that. You see what I'm saying? You feel me? That's thank you for the love, brother Viepodcast. You see what I mean? So that's the thing. Since I'm the type that like to keep it real with myself, then I'm like, okay, that's truly what we're vibrating on at the moment. But I don't see Hollywood as none other than a friend for that, because it's showing me the reality. You see what I mean? So I see the reality and I accept it, you see, because you have to accept the level that you are. And then you're like, okay, this is where we are now. See, this is who we become or whatever. And then knowing that this is not truly who we are, you see. So now we have to start the change, you see. I do the process of the chemical or alchemical process of change or something like this to become the butterfly, because we are in that caterpillar state where we think we have to consume the whole garden as we come out of our egg or whatever before we reach that cocoon state or something. So the thing is like somehow, you see, this is not who we are. Who we are is those when you go back in time, like in the beginning of time, right? When the human being were not so many, you see, and then there was one world, the Asia or whatever, you see, and then when the Gaia, or Asia or something like this, what it is, but you could go miles and months and after months and never see another face. So when we used to see a next face, it used to be a party. You see what I mean? It's like, yeah, yeah, you see what I mean? The same thing we do now with our like close friends and our circles. Let's say we used to go to high school together, whatever, and then we haven't seen each other. Now there's a reunion, and now we see, oh my God, that's my nigga Vil, what's up? Well, you know what I mean? Like, oh my God, all love and stuff like this. This used to be the norm. You see, it's like because you don't see, but this is a human thing too. Like it's an animal instinct as well. When you have something in abundance, you tend not to appreciate it. This is the mindset. But what makes us human, because the scientists will accept that's life, okay? But there's always beyond life, right? We are beyond life, and let's accept it. So the thing is like we don't have that limit or that mind of saying, okay, that's it. No, we can always go higher, vibrate to a different level that we choose to. You see, we are not that like the animals in the kingdom that don't have that choice. You see, we can always vibrate higher. You see, so the thing is like that's why I don't take that thing of, oh, that's who we are, that's life. No, you see what I mean? That's not true. You see. So that's maybe who we are now because we don't know better or we don't know ourselves. But is that all we have to offer each other? No, hell no. Otherwise, what's the point of life? What's the point of being the sheep? You see what I mean? In the kingdom or something like that. So even the lions obey, everything obeys the men. You see what I mean? So like we were saying earlier, they literally sacrifice their lives. I literally see a group of lions. I don't know if you guys ever saw that, a group of lions, what they are, lions or hyenas or something like this in Africa somewhere in the Sahara, where they caught like a gazelle or some sort like a zebra or whatever it was. It doesn't really matter what it was, but they caught one. I think it was 3 lions or 5 lions or something like this, if I'm not mistaken. Any of you who ever seen that video? And then there comes the children of God. 3 African men, in their African cultural attires and stuff like this. They come in, and with their spears and stuff like this, calmly looking in the eyes of the lions looking back in their eyes, and you should see the lions just dispersed and then open up and move away from the meat, and then they came, cut a big piece for themselves, and then move, leave it, and then the lions come back and continue. Do you see the harmony? You see, it's like the lions know, okay, these are the vicegerent, the Most High, our Father, our God, all of our gods. You see, put them as the head of the kingdom. So we serve them, we obey them, we live for them. So they see them and they already recognize the degree of the spirit, and then they move away. They have the power to even make those 3 little niggas the next meal, yet they choose not to. So how can we be so disrespectful to ourselves when we say we cannot vibrate higher? Come on. You see what I'm saying? They literally move back. Do you understand what I'm saying? They literally move back without force. And then they let them do what they do. And then after that, they take a piece. You see what happened to? They respected the lions back because they knew the lion had a choice. We always have a choice. So the thing is like what it is, they cut their piece. You see what I'm saying? You have to return the energy. Once the lion give you that respect, you cannot just come and take the whole thing. You can do it, but should you? You see? So the thing is like they didn't just take it, because most of us sometimes we tend to overuse our powers or abuse our powers, you see, or our influences and things like this, you see, or our authorities, which is a demonic thing to do all the time. So the thing is like basically you put that over their shoulders and stuff like this. They didn't do that because next time the lions are gonna have to survive. They're gonna be like, hey, you can't trust these niggas. They're gonna take the whole thing. But when you do the right thing the first time, then they know to trust you next time. If you had to push them, say, shoo, for the first time, and then you take some, the next time, once you come in, they won't even need you to say shoo. They will just move back. You see how life works? So those are the type of things we have to learn from nature. You see what I mean? And understand, even once we learn them from nature, we can still vibrate higher than that too, as it serves us. So the thing is, like, you see, we just gotta understand the laws of reciprocity. We have to respect these laws. You see, man law, blah blah blah, that's different. But when it comes to the laws that keeps the universe together, like it is literally part of the codes that builds the universe, then you shouldn't be that stupid that's mind to think you can just overlook it. You see, I mean, you can, that's the danger you are, because you have that disease called free will or whatever, which is not a disease, it's a gift, but depending on how you vibrate, as the God self, it is a gift. As the survival monkey self or animal self, it's a curse against you and in humanity. So that's what it is. You see what I mean? So the thing is like, we just give back the reciprocity. You see what I mean? Respecting the laws of reciprocity or something, or the principles of such. And then after that, next time things gets better and better and better. And this is literally, that's when I say, okay, I want a better world. When we say that, to those who cannot see it, they think it's delusional. It's not possible. But to the one who say it, it's already possible. It's because before he say it, he was already in the mind. He sees it already, or she sees it. And it's a simple step there. You see what I mean? The thing is like things you wouldn't think. That's going to really serve that. You see, it will serve that. You know what I mean? That's why it's the one who says it is the one to lead the way. You see what I mean? Because that's the one that is able to make it happen faster and more efficiently. You see, because it's just like an artist. Before the artist put the first dot on the canvas, it's not just freestyling, though he may be freestyling, but in its mind, he or she already has a picture. At least most of the time, 99% of the time. You see what I mean? So when we say these things, it's because we see the possibility. It's not we think, no, there's no such thing. You see what I mean? If we say it, there's nothing you can say that cannot be accomplished, or something like this. That's the nature of the universe. It's impossible only in your mind. You see what I'm saying? That's the thing. That's why the limited minds, most of the time society don't really put them as the forefront of minds. You see, it's the unlimited thinker. You see, the one that can see the possibility in everything. That's what serves. You see what I mean? So the thing is like, it's just, you see, things get better and better, and then there goes a world that we create. Because as we created, how do we create it? It's literally when you want a better tomorrow, you be a better version of yourself today, you see. So today, bring tomorrow. You know what I mean? So you have to first discern, you have to go within yourself, like with this time that we have, and go within and understand, okay, why are we so frustrated? Why is our world this way? Because those are the questions I had to ask 20, 30 years ago. You see what I mean? So the thing is like, why are we so frustrated? Even though I wasn't, but I couldn't help seeing it and feeling it. You see what I mean? But why? Why? It matters, you see? So the thing is like, ask yourself. First is the question. You see, that's the question will raise a degree of intelligence. You see what I mean? So the thing is like, why am I feeling that? Why is this happening? Why is that happening? Why is this? Why is that? It could be easier to say, look what you're doing. No, that's not how you approach it. You just be like, why is it happening? Why is this happening? How are we causing this to our societies, to our world? And then the answer is gonna come. This is how. And then now that you know how, which is half fixing the problem, now the rest is how do we deal with this? You see? And then step by step. And then now how you deal with it, the answers will surround you as well. You see what I'm saying? So that's why when we say, okay, we have to change our world, we have to change the course of history, whatever, because we had to. Because the problem is that every scripture we read is giving a dark end for humanity. Every turn, Hollywood, they always show, even like the movie we were showing, like the one, Infinity War. You see? How many, that doctor, whatever the name was, how many possibilities of chaos, of destruction? 14 million plus? How many work for the sake of survival of the species? One. You see? And that one is the knowing of connection, which is why we chose the word love. Though we know it's misused, misunderstood. It's not, it doesn't serve what we're talking about, because like even Sadhguru recently say, when people ask about loving people or whatever, he asks, does the tree love you in order to give you shade? Does he have to love you first? Because love is more than that emotions that we're thinking about. You see what I mean? It's not about this doing or something like that, because the tree doesn't decide to give you shade. You can be the one that's about to cut the tree, and the tree will still give you shade. You see what I mean? Because it doesn't decide to give you shade. It's just the nature of the tree to shade you. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it is. That's why sometimes people would say, oh, you're stupid for loving your enemies. They don't get it. They don't understand. But the trees live longer. They live better. Why question that? They're like, okay, I'll give shade to the one that can hurt me and the one that can, water me. You see? Because in reality, when you cut the tree, you do not hurt the tree. You hurt yourself. Because next time when you need a place of shade, you cut that shade out of your existence. You see what I mean? Now you're going to feel the missing. That's why there's a saying in Haiti, about Haiti, that from te quitter pour comprendre valeur, meaning we had to leave the land in order to understand the value of the land. You see what I'm saying? Guilty. So the thing is like basically but I always believed that, because that's something I grew up on. This is in the fabric of the culture. Those words are everywhere, every music, you see what I mean? So that's the thing. I always knew that, I heard it, but I never knew it to that degree where I was away from the land and now feel the emptiness or something like that. So the thing is like basically the thing, we have to lose it, because like we're saying, when we have something in abundance, we tend to overlook its value. We tend to, not cherish it or something like that until we lose it. You see what I mean? So that's the thing. But they will give that unconditional love. See, it's unconditional. They don't condition. Or you water me and I give you shade. But the water me and I give you shade is in the business transaction that automatically has to happen anyway. That's why sometimes when I try to teach people about the laws of reciprocity and cause and effect and all of these things, they think you asking for favors. They think, you see what I mean? Small minds. It's the worst thing in existence. So the thing is like basically, what we're trying to say is the same thing. The tree is not really asking you, please water me, or I'm not gonna get. That's not what the tree's doing. The only reason the tree asks you to water it is because of the possibility of it being a shade for you later, or a fruit giver, the one that sustains you later. So in reality, you're not really helping the tree unless you first helping yourself. You see what I'm saying? That's the thing why we have to understand the connectivity of things, the connection of things. You see what I mean? Because most of the time when we do for others, we think we're doing for others, but we are doing for ourselves, which is why the wise ones among us of old, they always say what? It is not what you save for yourself or keep for yourself that is your wealth. In reality, your wealth is what you give away, the seeds you plant. You see what I mean? That's that. If you don't understand these words to that degree, that's exactly that. The tree analogy can give you that understanding fully right now. You see what I mean? So that's the thing. Most people always say, "Oh, why you do this for people? Whatever they don't return." I don't need all that. I don't need to worry about that because all I gotta worry about is what I do. I have a purpose, I live it. I have a uniqueness, I be it. You see what I mean? That's what I have to offer. Who I am and whatever it is, the good, the bad, the ugly that comes to serve will serve. So I have to make sure to turn them into the beauty that they are. You see what I mean? And allow it to serve others. You see, but not just, you see what I mean? So the thing is like basically, it's just about, like, you know, it's that simple in life. You see what I mean? You just do what you gotta do, and you don't have to worry about anything else. So people, when they give back or they understand and they return the favor or whatever, they're not really helping you because you are full content, you are unique, you are self-sustaining or whatever it is. But the thing is like, but there's an aspect of life that makes life more beautiful when we do business, meaning we transact with each other. Transaction may be an advice, it may be whatever. You see what I'm saying? People will pay people $250 an hour or 30 minutes for 30 minutes. The richer you are, the more money you have to pay an hour for an advice. You see? We may not take it for something because that's what the small mind always take things for granted. You see what I mean? But yet some people are paying money for it. You see what I mean? I mean real money, sweats. So that's what it is. We have to learn to appreciate and things like this for our own good. So that's evolution of men. You see what I mean? And then, when things will get better and more in the paradise or the Eden that we're trying to create, reversing the hellish state of the plane, will become more apparent as we go. You see what I mean? We just gotta make sure we how you say that, attain to the garden. We just gotta till the garden, continue. It's not about, okay, let's put the word out and no. After every word is gonna have a next word because there's gonna be confusion that may come after that. Or you're gonna still, if you're the voice, the speaker, then you have to always make time to speak and things like this, you see? Because in the beginning was always the word. In the beginning of chaos is a word. In the beginning of peace is gonna be a word too. In all beginning, it's always a word. You see what I mean? The word is so important. We gotta learn that. So the thing is like basically is just like that, you see? And then we will get better at living with each other to a point where Hollywood will put everyone. This is my aim because when I see Hollywood show me the ugly part of us, the animal part of ourselves, I want as the show Hollywood that's not the best we offer. That's not the best we are. This is who we are now because of what we think of life and ourselves. But that's not who we truly are. So that's why let's change that. And then to a point where, because I will look, when I say Hollywood do the same thing again, and then something different happens. Everybody get along. It's all love. They're creating projects together. They don't have to, you see what I mean? And they're doing things and they see great things happen from them. Then we'll know the work is done. You see what I mean? It cannot be as we choose to do it. There's no savior that's gonna make you change. Don't you see? Even God says it. God say, "I do not change the people unless they are first willing to change themselves." Because all this starts from self. You see what I'm saying? That's what it is. If you want to change the world, start by changing yourself. If when I was clever, I wanted to change the world. Now that I become wise, I want to change myself. You see, all these words are telling us about ourselves, returning to who we are, and stuff like that. So, but we are here together. We are helping each other, assisting each other. So I'm grateful for your ears. I'm grateful for your time. I truly I'm honored with your presence and with your divine presence. So now we are graduating not only to the children of God, but to young ourselves. You see what I mean? So we can say that. And for those who may not yet feel comfortable with that level with God, because remember it's a degree of friendship. You see, like even among the prophets, there were prophets that had a greater relationship with Allah or God. Like Prophet Abraham, according to the literatures, Islamic literature, was referred to as Al-Amir, you know what I mean, or something, or whatever the term, if I'm not mistaken. You see what I mean, or the friend of Allah. You see what I mean? So the thing is like even Allah called him a friend. You see, that's the thing. There's a degree of relationship you will have with God that you cannot help but seeing you as God. You see, and that's the highest degree. You see, then there's a degree where you feel God. That's the lowest degree, the animal degree, where you just do it out of fear. You see, or I'm afraid. That's why I don't fuck you up right now, because I'm scared that God's gonna send me to hell. That's the lowest. You see, and then the next one is when you know God gives you the right to save yourself, to protect yourself, and you can fuck this nigger up right now, or this bitch up, whatever we say to each other sometimes. But you choose not to. That's the highest one. Not because you fear the punishment, because obviously God will understand. That's where you at right now. So then you're like, okay, because God will understand, I will do it, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then the next level is just understanding, you see? Like, okay, I get it. I don't know where you're coming from. So I'm not going to react, whatever. Okay, I choose to be the bigger man. That's a higher degree. You see, that's people like this are becoming God. You see, because God loves us unconditionally. He doesn't, he will feed and provide for who destroy, who hurt, who do whatever, just like he would do for anyone else. Because he's not looking at what you're doing. You see what I mean? To punish or whatever. Because you are here to learn, to evolve, and to grow. You see what I mean? So that's the thing. You feel me? So I speak so much that I'm becoming a little overstimulated. Fluid is overflowing or whatever. It doesn't happen at all unless I'm speaking too much. So I'm taking it as something positive. It's like the vibration is so high that it's burning out impurities and it's coming out through the liquids of the body, which is beautiful science. So that's what it is. So that's why, once you're speaking your truth, you're living your purpose, then everything you do becomes a healing for you. You see what I mean? You see how we're speaking, our body is cleansing. Why? Because we are aligning with truth, and then the body is responding, every cell is responding to that frequency of love and truth. Now it's healing itself and repairing, which is why, no sickness, no disease, no nothing really can survive in the vicinity of love. Why? Which is why we keep on pushing that love thing. People will be like, how the fuck am I gonna, do you think love can pay the bills? You think this, you think, nah. But to pay those bills, you have to be healthy first. And to be healthy, love can provide that help. Because Prophet Muhammad itself saying, there's a piece of meat inside the body. If it is healthy, the whole body is healthy. And if it is sick, the whole body is sick. And that piece of meat is the heart. So the projector of love, right? Everything we choose, we don't expect it to make sense to the monkey mind or to the animal instincts at first. That's why we ask for the trust that time. Because we know ourselves and we know you. So we know how to deal with you as we know how to deal with ourselves. So this is why when we choose to do something that you may not understand, then we have to take the extra time to explain why we make that decision. So that because we need you to comply with what we're saying. Otherwise, it's a waste of our time and yours, you see? So that's what it is, which is why you see us saying, okay, leadership tends to support, transparency tends to support leadership. This is part of the subsets of the or the subtitles of the podcast episodes that we recently released. We say these things for a reason because we are living a trail, understanding that leadership, sometimes you need to be transparent. But transparency may be misunderstood. When we say transparency, we don't really mean disrespecting the veils. You see, most of the time, monkeys will think that they will not understand the difference between secret and privacy. You see, they do not understand the difference between public and private. They do not understand the dark side of life and the light side of life, because they from a religious mindset, though they may say they are not or something, because they're only saying it because that's what they heard and it sounded good. But in reality, when you see the actions, it shows that they are still. Why? Because in reality, it is not the way you see it. You see what I mean? It's not somehow what were we saying, guys? Why did I forget? You see, trying to make too much sense of it. So the thing is, like, we just like, whatever, you guys get it. I forgot. So we'll come back. But the thing is, like, you see, it's transparency. You see what I mean? And I'm saying this thing is because many of you may not hold the channel now. The more you evolve, the more you will learn about yourself. You're gonna feel the urge, the need to speak your piece, to speak your voice. You see, that's the thing. So now, the best, those who undertake the challenge before you, is to live a trail and a guidance, or something, at least start a business, which I did, to help others build a platform for themselves or something like that. That's what it is. Your purpose has to serve you all the way. You see what I mean? It's not begging for $1, but create venues of business or transaction between you and your listeners. Be more than a voice to them. Serve them more than just speaking. You see, my speaking alone is capable. I don't have to do what I say is worth money already. Like I said, people went to school and are getting paid $250,000. Life itself was my school, and there's no greater teacher than experience. Of course, my teaching or my words worth more than those who went to Harvard and things like this, because this is straight from nature. Do you think Harvard has better teacher than the universe? You must be a special kind of stupid. So that's the thing. We have to understand. You see what I mean? So the thing is, like, basically, we just gotta see that the transparency. We understand that it's not about just speaking your mind. It's about, pampering the ears or those that you speak to or something like. Because that's what I expect when I go. Let's say I close this, and then say go or start a live. If it's something that go here, if it's something that's gonna serve me, I'm gonna sit and listen, because I'm not under the illusion of sex between master and student. I know it both exists within. You see what I mean? I'm not always, when I'm on my platform speaking, I may be the master because that's my platform and that's my voice, right? But when someone else is speaking, though they may have been on my platform for a minute prior, but the minute that I go on the platform, I have to leave that mindset of master behind, because it doesn't belong where I'm at. A true master is the one who knows its limits and its position. He will know when he's the student, because if I go on someone else's platform, I'm not gonna act like I'm the master there. You see what I mean? Because that's not my place. You see, that's the thing. Transaction, reaction, actions, and interactions. You see what I mean? So that's the thing. I have to be that one to understand fully the way life works. It's not that, okay, I'm a master, there's no other thing to it. I feel that the corporate world program us a different way. I get it. They always say, okay, you're the master and don't take no foreigners. But when it comes to the 99% of life, this is not the truth that vibrate or something. Why? Because you are the master and the student. And when you don't know that, life will have a very funny way to teach you that. You will literally make a mockery of you, a fool of you, and you will learn that hard. You see? I know. You see what I mean? So that's what it is. So the thing is like, like I say, I don't want to hold you guys too long. I know we could go all night because most of us don't even go out the house, really, which is beautiful because that's why it's the best way to spend the night, right? Because literally last night, I was just like, okay, when am I gonna sleep? You see what I'm saying? And then watch a few movies, documentaries, whatever. But I'm like, eh. You see what I mean? It doesn't. It's not the same. It doesn't recharge me. It just put me to sleep, right? In that mode of being programmed. But when I'm here with you, then we're not in that state of sleep. We are awakened. We are fully aware. You see what I mean? We are interacting with stuff like that. So I think it's a more powerful way to spend the night than the way I did last night. You see what I mean? But I did promise myself to go to bed earlier tonight because I hate disrespecting the night. And now I remember we were talking about the night and the day, the private and the this and that, whatever. So when we say to be transparent, though we put the word out and people respect what we say and we are grateful for that. But the thing is like we still have to make sure that we understand what that means. What that means is because most of the time people think it goes beyond, also it's the privacy. Really, our private life means nothing to anyone in the room. It may be fun to the lower self. You see, I mean, to be gossiping. These things may serve the animal self, like when we are on our lowest state of mind or something like this. It may serve us. It's entertaining to us. But as we vibrate higher, then it becomes obsolete. It doesn't serve anymore. You start hating gossipers. You start hating anyone that speak ill of others or whatever. You see what I mean? It's a different vibration. You have to understand they're not the same. The caterpillar self and the butterfly self are two different beings. You see what I mean? They don't vibrate the same. They don't even recognize each other. You see what I mean? So the thing is like basically, is like it's not really about the private life or something like that, especially to the degree that I speak of. You see, this is why you may not find us talking on a private level because my privacy doesn't serve you. You have your own, not worry you with mine. You see what I mean? And especially when we understand that He all here to serve us somehow. You see what I mean? The thing is like is to take what the darkness brings as the light, extract the light out of the darkness, and share with others. But your darkness is personal. Everyone darkness is personal to them. You see what I mean? What serves you is that light that can be extracted from that darkness. That may serve others. But the darkness brought you, the bringer of that light, the light. But it is not the darkness that you share. You see what I mean? The darkness is a powerful force. Instead, it will consume your society more than it will help your society. Because that's not its purpose. Because that's what I was telling someone yesterday I was talking to. When they were speaking about all the ills going on, a lot of Hollywood celebrities are under lockdown or whatever. I don't come and speak to my lovers or my people about these things. When they go and do these gossips, which is okay to know your surrounding, whatever, if it serves. But I don't take time for these things. Why? Because where we are, it doesn't serve. We get it. We understand it may be going on, whatever. But we're not seeing it from the same angle as the lower or the animal self. You see, we are seeing it from the God self level. You see, I mean, where everything serves. It doesn't matter what it is. You see, that's why many people cannot be with me or next to me because I'm gonna show you another way. You see what I mean? And you may not be happy with finding out there's another way sometimes. So the thing is like something. It's just the darkness or something like this its role is to consume light. You see, because it's out of darkness comes that the light shines. But it surrounds light. You see what I mean? But light doesn't surround darkness. The darkness surrounds it. It's the light is within the womb of darkness. You see what I mean? Not the other way around. So the thing is like literally, when you get that darkness, which is your trials, tribulations, things that you overcome, your mistakes, your errors, whatever you call your past lives or whatever it is you call it, or something like this, the way it serves, it's when you understand that it didn't happen, or it's not there to destroy you, but to literally be the very catalyst or very reason or the very thing that's gonna bring you to your purpose. You see what I mean? Most people, even they're in the monkey mind, they're gonna see the gift as a problem, because it's not that it is. Just because you say something is something doesn't make it something. That's something. It is what it is. What you think of it may not be what it is. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is, like, basically, it's just when you find darkness, and then stuff like when we say, be, I mean, a lot of time they will say, oh, we have to, and then they bring the guts out and the privacies and whatever, thinking that's what it means to be. Nah, every king, every leader, they have to have a level of privacy for themselves. Even Prophet Muhammad himself, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who was someone like myself, who don't like to hurt people. Like, let's say I'm in my home or my business or whatever, when I at the store or something, and then someone come, even if I don't feel like talking to someone or something, but I'm not the type to really say it, you see. And Prophet Muhammad was the same. That's why I understand this so well, because it's who I am. So the thing is, like, Allah will see that Prophet Muhammad will suffer within himself when people just come, just invade his privacy without calling, or without, not calling because there was no phone at that time, but without, announcing themselves or something like that. They just show up. So he's not the type to kick them out or throw them away or something like this. So Allah had to reveal ayah. Ayah means a verse of the Quran. Them do not come into the private space of the prophet. Sometimes he may be naked. Sometimes he may be in an intimate position with his wife. Sometimes he may be in a vulnerable moment with his daughter or children or something like that. Does he really need the whole town in that space at that moment? No. You see, the thing is, like, a leader is too private. Business to bring it to others, because it doesn't serve them. It served you. While it served the people that you will serve, is not your darkness, no. It is that the light, like I said, that you extracted from your darkness. You see what I mean? The understanding you got from the trials and the tribulations, or the past mistakes, or whatever you call them. That's what's gonna serve the people. And then if it's something so connected to your darkness, then you may not even need to share yours, but if it's so connected, then there's a need, or maybe, to share it, just to gain the person's trust in following the advice you're given. You may say, yo, I went through the same thing. This, or whatever. And then this is what I understand of it now, and then this is all. You see what I mean? Because there's a need for the connection now. You're not revealing anything new to that person. It's not gonna confuse that person. It's not gonna bring them into a state of chaos or nothing in themselves. Since they already went through it, then now you are safe to share that darkness, because there's a connection between your darkness and that person's darkness. So therefore, they already know of that. So if they already know of that, then it's okay to talk about it. You see what I mean? But darkness is not something, you see, just like last time, the moon has a dark side. It's a reminder, you see, and then they never revealed that. And the day never changed. It's always the day where we come and share with each other, do mutual business. Whatever is your business, during the day, we get to exchange that business. That's why everything is business. Spirituality is business. You see what I mean? When we say, yo, mind your business, what do we say? Business. Because to be is to be in business. That's what we have to understand. There's no separation. You see what I mean? Everything is business. You see? That's why I'm always in business speaking, right? When you don't see people buying my goods, which is my words, it's because they are still not in the level to see the value in those words. You see? That's why you will find people choose the chocolate bar over the silver bar. Not because the chocolate bar is more important, but because they don't know the value of the silver compared to the chocolate. But the chocolate to any animal, it's ready to eat, to whatever. That's what every animal is gonna go for. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it is. I say that for those who may feel certain way, like, oh, I'm living a purpose, nobody's listening or whatever, because your purpose is supposed to be able to sustain you. But there's always a problem on the path when you come outside and try to help your world. It's that patience is gonna be needed. You see, you're gonna have to build the people you gotta serve. You have to raise them up to a level where they understand where you're coming from. Then, the minute they get understanding, and then they will see the value, and now, oh shit, and then they will give themselves for it. You see, that's why even the prophets, many people were the enemies at first, and become the ones that put themselves in harm's way for the prophet. Literally. Abu Bakr, I believe. Was it Abu Bakr? No. Umar. Umar. Radiallahu anhu. Or, may Allah be pleased with him. Umar himself was an enemy of the prophet. When he heard about the prophet, that the prophet was, Prophet Muhammad to be exact, his teaching was bringing division between families, fathers and sons, mothers and daughters, and whatever, husbands and wife. So he felt like, we're not supposed to let, he was a gangster type of nigga, you see. We're not supposed to let that nigga come and bring division to the town, son. You see what I'm saying? Handle business, son. You feel me? So now he wanted to go and handle business, like handle that prophet's ass, you see. So now what happened though, when he went there, the people, I don't remember if it was Uthman or whoever it was, when Umar came up, maybe it was Abu Bakr, his best friend or something like that. Abu Bakr, was there. He's like, this man is very vicious, and then he hates you, and it's not a secret and stuff like this. So if he's coming your way, nigga, you better either run, or that's not how it happened, but that's what it is. It's like, okay, this nigga's coming your way, dude, and he hates you. You feel me? So now that I know he hates you, so we have to handle business. We have to square up, my nigga. You feel me? So what it is that, so now the prophet said, chill, my nigga. In those words. No, I'm joking. You see what I mean? He said, chill, my nigga. I mean, not in those words. But it's like, don't worry. Same thing. It's language, right? Chill, my nigga. Don't worry about it. We got this. We strapped. So what it is, it's just that he came, you know what I mean? And then Umar is like, where is Muhammad? You feel me? And it's like, and then, people already was ready to fight to protect the prophet. Because once they recognize the value of the man, then the best thing to do is to now protect that value with your life. Because it's not about his value for himself. It's what the value he is to you, or the people, or whatever. You see what I mean? Because there's no disconnection. So what it is, it's like they were ready to fight for the prophet because they know Umar come, you in trouble. So what it is, and then it's like he comes with his sword to cut the prophet's head off. He wasn't going to live without his head. So now the prophet said, no, let him in. And they let him in, and then he said, I hear, my nigga, I hear those words about you. I hear you, your words is dividing the families in the town. I don't accept that, my nigga. I don't do that here. You see me? You keep that shit over there. I come here for your head. You see what I mean? And the prophet, they say, so what is it that you are teaching the people? And the prophet share with them of his teaching, of his revelations, or something like that. And then his heart melted. And then from that day, you see, he cursed himself for even having had that thought to hurt such a man. And then he bowed to the prophet at that time, kneeled himself, and then he presented his sword, and then he said, you see the sword that came to cut your head will be the sword that will be raised to protect you from now. This was his promise to the prophet, and he became the prophet's second best friend, you see? Or third, because his wife was the first, I would say, or the second, or whatever. I don't know, like, you feel me? So that's what it is. It's like to recognize the value, you see? They had to hear the word, you see? Which is what we have to do. My thing is not much, once you become a guide, a speaker, or whatever, the mouthpiece or whatever for your society. What you have to say is valuable to the people and to your world. So now it's all about now continue to do that, not stopping at all. That's why, when it is a value of yourself, when it is attached to who you are, it's not it doesn't have a second agenda or something like this, then that gives you the patience. You see, because you understand the value is in the eyes of the beholder. You see what I'm saying? So you will speak, you will speak, you will speak, you will speak, and then once you raise their level of understanding to your, it's literally the spirit coming to in a vocal cord or something like this. It is literally vibration. If you are looking at the reality with certain type of scopes, you will see a voice is not coming out in the words that you are speaking. It's coming out in the vibration and the frequency. You see what I mean? That can be felt. That's a language. Frequency is a language. You see? It's like the heart doesn't speak words, it speaks frequencies. You see, that's why it will feel you more than it will hear you. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is like basically once it feels, then you will know exactly and it will not be played. You will know exactly. Words can play you. That's why these ears can play you. Because somebody may know how to manipulate them. They may know what you need. They need $1. So let's talk about how to turn 100 to 1,000. Whatever. We get them. You see what I mean? They may know how to get your attention and your money at the time. But all they have to know is know that you need to survive, and they use that against you. That's all. But it's not wrong though, because they too need to survive. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is like basically that when it becomes, you are patient with it, and you are not looking as to the dollar signs. Like many will tell you, okay, what's the coming out of it? You hear that, you understand their concerns. You see what I mean? You feel them. You see. But at the same time, you have to go beyond survival and understanding that it's not everything that is about that. Though it is, because for every energy, there has to be an energy return. It's going to happen one way or another. It's just the way it is. You see, I mean, energy is, it recycles. You see, it's going to hit the wall and bounce back. That it's going to have to return. You see, you don't have to worry about that. You see, even when people think that's what I'm worried about, it's not because I'm worried about that. They only think I'm worried about that because that's how they think. You feel me? That's the thing now they have to understand. It's most of the time when we think we're pointing fingers, it's only showing ourselves, you see? So the thing is like, basically, it's about trusting your journey, trusting what you have to offer, so long as it is not something you learn from someone or from it's even if what you learn from someone is to go point you at yourself. That's what you learn. But the true lesson, the true purpose is what you will gather from your own darkness. Which is why we open our doors to guide and help and assist those that may be going through that darkness or about to go to that darkness, because it's unavoidable, or already went through it but cannot come out of it because they don't understand shit of that darkness. You see what I mean? It's all happening at once right now. I've spoken to many people on all different aspects of their journey. You see what I mean? So the thing is like basically, the minute that you do that, you see what I mean? Then you see how we guide and we help because we've been through it. You see? That's the best thing you do for someone. When you've gone through it.
I'm losing my mind.
So when you gone through it, and then now you've been there, done that, and then you're able to guide someone going through the same. You can never misguide them, so long as you don't try to overdo it. That's the only way you can misguide. But if you only give as you see fit, as you understand, as is asked of you, as is needed, not more. The minute that you won't go more, so long as you that trying to go with ego with it, like okay, I'm better when I'm teaching. Look what I'm doing. Now, then you may go more. But if you are going according to knowing how it works, you are here because you've been there. So that your job is to just be that on the stepping stone for that brother or sister, and then because you know the gaps on the path or something like this, you know what I mean. So now you just do that, and you won't do it more than you ask of, but more than is asked of you, because you're not showing off. You're just living your purpose. You are assisting humanity. You see, so that's what it is, and it doesn't take you much. You don't have to pay a class for it. Why? Because it's the greatest teacher taught you itself. You see what I'm saying? So that's the thing. So the minute that you are whatever, then that's all it is, guys. You see, you just gotta trust your process. Like myself, I come. You have no idea what I've been through to keep speaking. You see what the pieces, the places that I hold this sometimes to come and speak my truth and my voice and assist my world or something like this. You don't know. You will, because we talk to each other all the time. There may be a time where that may be the best example to share. You see, because there's so much to tell or to share. So, what's to say if we ever gonna have the time? You see what I mean? And we don't only just talk to talk. We share it as we see fit. You see what I mean? If it's served for the moment, then that's what we're gonna do. So the thing is like, but you have no idea what you're gonna go through, or what you're going through, or what you've been through. You see what I mean? Trying to survive now. Anyone who ever walked that path knows it's not an easy path. You see what I mean? It's really not for the faint heart or whatever you call it. You see what I mean? So that's the thing. Even in the movie The Matrix, you see it says that. We can only show you the door. I cannot promise you understanding. I can only promise you the truth. It's up to you to understand or whatever. You see, all of these things are so true, because you really on your own, because no one can assist you on that path. And the best you can do for someone is let them be. You see, because sometimes we think, okay, we need to help people, give them money. No, that's not the point. When to give money, you have to know when it serves. You see what I mean? Because sometimes, what if it's them not having money that's gonna bring them that understanding? Last night I was watching a movie from YouTube. Check it out, guys. It's a great movie, and if you have children, great children, whatever, it will serve you. It's called The Ultimate Gift on YouTube, free. It's the actors they're very well-known actors, and I don't know why that movie is not bigger than some I've seen in the spotlight. Yo, believe me, great movie. So in that movie, there was this young man from a family that is very wealthy. The great-grandfather who built the corporation that make the family name wealthy passed away, and then he left the inheritance for the next of kin. So the next of kin now, amongst them, even his own children, he left certain things, whatever. But the greatest gift he wanted to leave to his great son, his great grandson, which is the youngest of his heirs, and then the one that they didn't see eye to eye. You see, they hated each other. You see, that's why the young man didn't even believe that great-grandfather was going to leave anything valuable to him, because he hated me. That was his word. You see what I mean? But in reality, most of the time, we don't see reality for what it is. We think enemies, like the great son, think the grandfather is an enemy to him, when in reality, the grandfather loves him more than he loves his own self or his own son. You see? That was the reality. But what they were living and thinking or misconcepting was that they were enemies of each other. You see, but the grandfather knows the son hates him, but he knows he doesn't hate the son. But the son knows he hates grandfather, and grandfather hates him too. You feel me? So now the grandfather wanted to leave him the greatest achievement of himself, let that live through him. Though he think he didn't deserve and he didn't even expect it, so the grandfather started a game with him instead. You see, like, okay, I have a series of heirs for you, of gifts I left you. The greatest one, the ultimate one, is at the end. If you make it to the end, then you achieve the greatest achievement or the greatest heir or something. So, but the first one is the gift of friendship. Put them to something, a task, give them a task for the week. He pays them a little paycheck per week, of course, you know what I mean, to keep them coming back, whatever. But the grandfather asked of everyone, too, in the will, please, I left a certain things. You see, that's the type of thing I try to help the people that I work with understand, to be on that level of manipulation. Because when I speak of manipulation, they see it as something negative. The problem with not manipulating your own world is to leave it for someone else to manipulate. You have to learn how to manipulate, you see? Because manipulate, handling, to handle your business. You see, that's literally what manipulate means. Of course, it can be dark, it can be light, it can be an evil way or whatever. It's not really the manipulation that is bad, it's the intention to manipulate that may be bad. You see what I'm saying? So manipulation is simply a tool to build, to till your garden. You see, that's what we mean. So the thing is like but he had to manipulate the situation even after his death. You see, so the thing is like he knew, okay, I have to leave him this gift, but he's not in the proper state of mind to make of it something. He can literally take all that wealth and destroy it in the night. You see, it doesn't matter how much money, you can really destroy any amount of wealth in one night. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is like, but he knew now it's not only about giving him a bunch of dollars, but to give up, to frame his mindset with the word and the manipulation in order to build a man that's going to make of that money or continue the legacy. You see what I'm saying? Tilling the garden. So the thing is like he said to everyone, whatever I have for you in the will be taken away or won't be given to you if you ever give any help, financial help to that boy. You see what the grandfather said? And then the boy was sleeping on the bench, a rich boy indeed. He's sleeping on the bench as a bum, you see? And then now he went to his mom's house. Mom, can I crash over here because, you know, I lost my apartment because, you know, penthouse in the city, whatever, too much to handle because grandfather died. Grandfather was the one paying for this thing, so he no longer got that. So what it is, he couldn't afford it anymore. So now, what it is, he's asking mother to let him crash because he's tired of sleeping like a bum on the street. So now mother's like, baby, I love you, but I cannot let you do that. You know, look on the bright side because I have to listen. You know, your grandfather say he won't even give me my inheritance if I help you, even give you $1. I trust him. He was a wise man. I believe that is for your best. You see? So forgive me. You see what I mean? And then the son look at the mother like an enemy and you see, I can't believe this bitch did me dirty. Because most of the time, when people hold back from helping you, maybe the best help you need for the time being. You see? But sometimes who's to know when if they don't know what the hell they do? Maybe the help that you should need that man, but you didn't because you think, maybe God put you through it, my nigga, you gotta go through it. No, it's not always the same. You see what I mean? Some people just love the excuse to not help someone else sometimes. You see what I mean? That's the life. That's life. It's a multi-dimensional, indeed. So the thing is like basically it's just you see that was but I don't want to spoil it. I said it's the movie is I will try to share it on live. I mean on my page, and you guys can extract that there and just click and watch. It's you're gonna enjoy that movie. If you married, watch with your wife. If you have children, watch with them. There's something for you to learn in them as well. You see, so the thing is like, and it's so beautiful. First, he gave them a task of work. You see, they took him to a big field and make him work all day, whatever, because the father wanted to give him you've been spoon-fed all your life. It's time that you understand the value of money and what's given to you. So he make him work for it. First, that was the first game. And then once he learned to work for himself as a man, then after that, the next gift came of friendship. He had to find a friend. And then after that, to build friendship. And then after that, he had to find, to raise a community. It doesn't have to be community, whatever, but he has a family. He did that, whatever. You see, he didn't understand what was going on. He was frustrated. He was mad. He always wanted to give up. But the ultimate gift, he was so curious to know what it was, because it's coming from one of the richest men that existed. So of course he knows it's something big. He wanted to know how much, like the end of it, like get it over with. You see what I mean? We're very quick. So that's what it is. But the movie is so beautiful. I don't want to spoil it. You see, I'm gonna leave it there. So that's what it is. But the thing is, like, it's just sometimes we wanna help people. We think it's throwing money, like a lot of people is doing right now with the financial situation. They think, oh, once people got money, the world is a better place. But it's not that simple. Because about 10 years or more, that was my mind too. I thought, okay, you see what I mean? But it's not, you see? Because the thing is, like, many people, what's going to make them best is not having it. You see what I mean? Because, of course, but they've been not having it, but they get that worse. Yes, that's where the thing. They have to start being better without, you see? That's the thing. I'm not saying for everyone, whatever, but I'm just saying what life is, the reality. You see what I'm saying? So it's not really the smart thing to throw money at everyone, whatever, because money tends to magnify whatever energy that you already are. If you were a very disrespectful person, you're going to be 10 times more disrespectful, because a disrespectful person doesn't respect anyone. Sometimes they're going to give respect where they need you, you see? Sometimes if you can give them that money, then they will give you some respect for that time. So imagine giving that person a lot of money. So now there's no reason for him to respect anyone anymore. You see what I mean? So you have done the worst on earth, you see? So that's the thing. If you want to help, you have to seek guidance. It doesn't matter what your expertise are. You see? You have to first listen to another voice beyond that expertise. You see what I mean? To understand, okay, how do I use my gift? Because to have a gift is not a gift. To have a gift now, it's a gift to you. But what's going to make it a gift to someone else is the way you use it. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is, like, it doesn't mean it's a gift and you know how to do with it. How do you know you're going to serve or destroy it with it? You see, it does hold this potential for both, because it's simply a tool. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is, like, now you ask and then this and that, and then they will tell you and reason with you and explain certain things, because it's not about, I teach financial literacy, I don't need anyone. Nah, that's monkey thinking. You are that master in that state. But to make use of that, someone else may need to be that master over you. Because that's the same thing. Someone who is my financial guru, I may be their spiritual guru. You see? Because that's how we serve each other in life. That's why most of the time, I want to do business with everyone, but I have to do business only to those who do business with me, because I have to return the favor. Let's say somebody comes to me and pay me for my counsel, right? With their family or their children or themselves, for instance, right? And then now they come and listen to me. They pay me for my services and my time and my ears and my words, whatever. So now they have something too they do. Oh, what do you do, brother? After we done, we happy, we get over what we talk about. What do you do? Oh, yeah, I make this. I make t-shirts, let's say, for instance. Oh yeah, what kind of, oh yeah, like with the fabrics, like your hemp fabric, whatever, because the world is changing. We try to integrate that into green lifestyle, into our things. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. So what it is. And then I'll support that. You see what I mean? And also, if I'm looking for a financial guru as well, I can only take advice from someone who's taken advice from myself, because there has to be a connection in business, because life is spirituality. There's no difference. Some people think, oh, spirituality is separate and business is all is spirituality. You see what I mean? It's being is spirituality. Spirit is everything. Whatever you see, physicality, whatever it is, it's simply the dream. You see what I mean? It's like the avatar, not the construct of our mind, or something like that. It is not the reality, you see? Everything you do with the avatar is from spirit doing. You see what I mean? It's spirit not even doing, being. Doing, the body is doing what spirit is being. You see what I'm saying? So now, if spirit two spirit doing business with each other, what do you think that transaction is? It's spirituality, which is why we still have to respect the ethics of business and the rules, the codes, and whatever, the bro codes, matter. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it is. It's there's no separation. You see what I'm saying? That's because of the thought of separation, the dual mentality, then we continue to bring the division. Because if we accept one division, especially if it's not as a strategy, we just accept it as life. Like we say, that's life. You see what I mean? So if we just accept it, then we're gonna cause further division. Because when you accept, let's say, black and white, you accept black and white as they're separate. So now both of them is gonna have to have further division amongst each, right? Because now black is gonna have to be darker shades of black, lighter shades of black, whiter shade of light, darker shades of white, whatever. That's another division. And among that division of darker and lighter, taller, shorter, you're gonna continue to divide it, separate it infinitely. You see? That's why at some point in your infinite division, you have to recognize the monkey thing you're doing, the stupid, retarded, nonsense things that we are doing, and make a conscious decision to, dissolve the divisions. You see what I mean? Okay, go back to center, where it's all one, which is what we have to do with ourselves and those who are so fortunate and so smart to listen. The division less, and to the point of one. And then from that center, all is one. Then you are able to see everything for what it is. And from that space, you move to solution. But once we are divided in ourselves, in our minds, in our mindsets, and our understanding and things like that, every solution is only going to be half-ass. Not even half, or fraction of a solution. But never the solution. Which is why people are like, let's do that. Yeah. Because I'm not going to participate in something that I know 10 years from now is going to fail, 20 years from now is going to fail, 50 years from now. No, I don't do that. You see what I'm saying? I would rather wait. Tell you the truth. So the thing is like, whatever. So I'll either do the way that works out of the 14 million ways that don't work, instead of doing 14 million ways and find that they don't work. Yeah, I'm not that type. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is like, it's back to center. You see, you center yourself and then see the whole field as one. From then you will see everything from the proper perspective. And then from a proper understanding of everything, then you can, because you think of something, you first have to have knowledge of the thing. Right? In all science, you have to know what you're dealing with. You see what I mean? Even to cure a disease, you have to know that disease, to the point of injecting that disease in yourself to become it, so that your body can find a way to cope with it. You see? Allow your body to fight it. You see? So that's the thing. And you know what I mean? So that's what it is, guys. So the thing is like, we got this. Of course, the challenge is the minute that we are doing certain things, which is why I refrain from saying that God thing, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Because many of us, people already making t-shirts, make hats, God self, or whatever. Because we're taking God and lowering that energy into survival mode. You see, like allow the ego to use it for itself, for its own survival instincts. Whatever, like God, hot, whatever, blah, 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 but that doesn't serve. It really hurt us a lot down the line, you see? And it's already hurting us, of course, you see? But if you don't see it, then let you learn on your own. But it's already hurting. We already knew it's going to hurt, you see? That's why we try not to say it much and explain why we say it instead, you see? Because when people say these things, it's going to sound, like we always say, it's going to sound good to the ego. The ego is going to run with it and make something for itself of it. But that's not what's supposed to happen. That's not what God, the ancestors, expect or something of it, you see? They expect us to be it, not to cash in on it. You see what I mean? But if we think there's a lack of things, which is why you see even the black folks, whatever, for lack of better word, they think, they're supposed to replace the white supremacy with black supremacy. And we say, no, that's not what it is. And we truly do not give a fuck what anyone think about that. But because we're not here to please you, we're here to help you. You feel me? So the thing is like basically what it is just if you are on the same mindset, because the white supremacy situation created or assisted with creating the hell that we are living right now, with that mindset of thinking there's a scarcity in the world where they have to conquer every land, they have to conquer every gold, they conquer everything because if they control it, then they control of the world, whatever. That scarcity mindset, you see? Leadership is not wrong, but if you are in leadership for survival, then that's why we always say. But I don't understand why people don't understand what we mean. It's something that we are living the effects of these things. How the fuck do we not see it? You see what I mean? So the thing is like, yet we say we're conscious, right? So the thing is like basically, it's like if they go and then they start conquering the world from that fear state of mind. You see? So from the fear of losing something, of not being something, being lost and forgotten, for fear of no gold left for them, for fear of no nothing left for them, whatever, then they had to see and make solution based on that. But at the end of the day, they're gonna find out, oh shit, gold in Africa. Oh, gold in Haiti. Oh my, there's what? What? Diamond. Oh, there's the what? Abundance of all these things. But then we thought there wasn't a lot, so we killed all these motherfuckers for nothing. This is not even where. You feel me? So, but the mindset that they thought it was, would, make them think they have to run for capture land from others. There's no need for all of that. There's abundance. There's enough for everyone. You can enough to the point where you don't know what to do with it. In that movie, I told you, you're gonna see a man with lens that is driving for like a half an hour to reach his headquarters. That the past hour we've been driving on my estate. What? There's people right here, especially in the Midwest. You see what I'm saying? Lands, like, and what we're talking about not enough. You see? That's why I had to understand what the fuck does the elite mean? What is that? But then I realized, okay, I have to jump on board and understand where they're coming from. Because where I see it, it's not about the number of the people. That's not how they see it. I'm not saying they see it. I'm talking about myself. I cannot talk about them. Because they made it clear why. It's just too many people, period. But me, I see why I have to side with that idea. And why I have to side with that idea is like if we fail to evolve to become our best self with all the time and every luxury that is presented to us to do that easily. So now the hard way is going to have to happen, which is get your ass out of here. You see what I mean? That's what it is. So that because there's the next phase of life is not for the animal self. Don't you see every animal is evolving? The lion see the gazelle is like, I got a girl, but that's not that time, right? You feel me? Every rock is becoming crystals. Everything is vibrating higher. Everything is like, so the new age like to say, we transforming into 5D Earth. You feel me? And I agree. If you don't make it to 5D, then you're gonna have to face 5G, my G. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it is. You have to either vibrate to 5D state of mind, you see, which we try to help and stuff like this. And at the same time, if you don't make it there, then you have to face 5G. Because remember, the matrix, the synthetic matrix, seek to mimic the organic matrix. It will always upgrade. The minute that the organic matrix upgrade, he has to upgrade to you see, because he follow it to the letter. That's why it exists. That's why it's so powerful. You see, it's powerful. So the thing is like basically that's why the blacks would say, okay, we want to conquer the world, but when we listen between the lines to what the spirit say, not what the mouth say, then we hear the same thing. We hear a byproduct of the white supremacy. We hear a reaction of white supremacy, meaning a different mirror of the same. You see, like we are the superior, they're not. You see, we are the owners of it, they're not. It's nothing different except the same thing jump from one being to another. You see what I mean? So my job is to make sure that we do not get the same thing happen again. You feel me? We could not afford the same stupidity. You feel me? We cannot, it doesn't matter if it comes from someone that looks like me. Like some of us, or majority of us agree that I don't give a fuck. So long as it's not the white men enslaving me, I don't mind black men enslaving. Fuck no. You see what I mean? That's my stand. I get it. But I don't give a damn. I get paradise or nothing. You see? I don't need no nothing because it looks like me and I'm going to take that. Hell no. Sometimes it's easier to accept oppression from someone that don't look like you than it happens if you catch my drift. I would rather have it from a white man than my own, to tell you the truth. I mean, my own meaning those who with my you or something. You see what I mean? You feel me? Why would I do that to myself? Another 2,000 years of the same shit? Hell nah. You see? But if that's what you deserve and that's what you think you want, then would it be? You will activate the reality that you choose to live. But sometimes you need to know that there's better things in existence. You see what I mean? So that's what we say. If you don't make it to 5D in your consciousness, fifth dimension being, then you have to face 5G. You see what I'm saying? Fifth generation matrix or grade or whatever. You see what I mean? Because the mind is much faster, it's most brilliant. So the technology gotta, keep up. You see, you feel me? So, but so much as you're in 5D, then you cannot be affected by the 5G because your frequency is much more powerful than whatever 5G is, which is why we say love. You see, because even Prophet Noble Ali himself said, mean love instead of hate. Learn to love instead of hate. Most people, like I said, would say, I can't pay bills with love, but you can't pay bills if you're sick either. And love can keep you safe from getting sick. You feel me? So that's what it is. And when we say love is not kissing the next man or the next woman, that's not what we're talking about. Love meaning understand your life, understand the world, understand things instead of judging it or whatever. Try to understand it and work with it. Be compassionate. You know what I mean? Because it will give the muscle of your heart a special strength that will cause it to vibrate, pump more and higher frequency. You see what I mean? And be in the frequency of love and the proper frequency of the heart, that which keeps it stable and safe. And the whole body will be in that same state. And then your vision will be clearer. Everything about you will be much, much more evolved. You see what I mean? And then nothing in that state can harm you, like the Bible says. You see, no weapons formed against you. You see, but it's not no weapons formed against everyone. Of course, some people are dropping like flies. So does the Bible lie or something like this? No, it's not a lie. But when they say no weapons formed can hurt you, that's why we dare to add, except yourself, because you are the worst weapon against yourself. This weapon cannot hurt you because of yourself, and this weapon can hurt you because of yourself. You feel me? So, Brother Musa, what's going on? Love your style. Yeah. I never heard you, man. You leave me to die. You see what I mean? So that's what it is. So the thing is like, it's just like that. So we cannot just play ourselves. And then, of course, we're not going to assist anything that is not done. But we always sometimes feel comfortable with the illusion of thinking we are building what we want. You see what I mean? Which is why we say, sometimes what we have to say may not feel good to someone who's not powerful in themselves. We get it. So to those we say we are grateful for their patience and understanding. So the thing is like basically, it's just that when we say the leaders that speak on the Monday situation, we don't mean to say it, but we say as we see fit. If we, so long as they don't present a problem, they understand things, they use their wisdom, their discernment, they know what they're doing, then there's no need to say anything. But the minute that some of us don't know what we're doing and we're just going with it, like we're going with the flow, we're enjoying we love it, we're getting money out of it, whatever, then it doesn't matter what we're losing in the process. Then we're becoming delusional with it. Then of course we have to put a cap on it. You see what I mean? We have to do that for each other. You see that otherwise, what's the point of even having each other back? What's the meaning of having each other's back even? You see what I'm saying? So the thing is like somehow is that that paradise. You see, it's not about okay taking the power from the white supremacy hand and put it on black supremacy when they're the same with different skin, same mindset, scarcity, meaning we need that money, we poor, we need to get something. Same mindset as the beginning of white supremacy. And then, oh, we need to get our land back, blah, 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 blah. Same thing, land. Okay, we have right on the land. We're going to take that shit from them. Same thing. So that's not the proper leadership that we're looking for. You see what I mean? And that's why I know people may think, okay, I'm against whatever. No, I'm never against you. I'm against you if you're against yourself. But if you're not against yourself, I'm with you. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is like, what it is like when we do certain things, like we say, okay, oh, no, not me, blah, 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 then we're not really helping, you see, because though I understand the danger in the corporate, the level of influence that we allow corporatism to have in life, due to the misunderstanding or the misconception of the ratio or the equation between, you see, spirituality and business, that all is spirituality, except that it is divided between survival 1% and then being 99%. You see what I mean? That's the proper way to understand life, with business included, because business is an interaction. We are communal beings. We interact. Everything we do is business. When we marry a woman, it's business. We raising our children is business. That's why a few years ago on the Vladimir show, we had a guest, very influential being Buddha Noah. You see what I'm saying? He came and his speech, his lecture was about family, seeing the family, setting as a business. Put your children to work. You see, when he say put them to work, it's not about go to do the garden, which is something normal, but we're talking about money making work. See, it's like, okay, let's say I have this podcast or something like that. My children, okay, go on YouTube, watch those type of videos for me. I give them a list of videos. Watch this and then be the recording thing. Be this, be that. You give them something to do. And then of course you compensate them to make it worth their time. And then with that money, they go get whatever they would want. That's the goal. And that's the way you do. That's what we mean by the business. That's why sometimes I hire my daughter, my son, their friends, you see what I mean? And I do tell them, okay, we're gonna put this on your YouTube channel. All of them who have a YouTube channel, and we give them the right to place that little show or that movie we did 30 minutes or whatever minute, or 5 minutes movie, film or whatever. Put that on your channel and stuff like this. If anything come out of it, then we promise everyone a share. You see, but sometimes too we may just pay up front. You see what I mean? And we give, because it's good to do that. You see, but sometimes we get so much challenges and whatever this and that, and we don't do much because it's not that we're not capable of offering, but we have so much to offer that people, they may not be able to receive. Because we remember, seeds are seeds. Each of us is a seed, you see, and we are able to multiply everything that we are, right? But the people that are listening now, as we are seed, the listener, when you are speaking, you are seed. When you are listening, you are land. You see, the master and the student both exist within the same. The seed and the land is one in the same too. I know it doesn't make sense, guys. I feel you. But that's from this channel, you know what we're talking about. You see what I mean? Because everything is made simple here. You see? So the thing is like the land is the seed. Why? Because as I'm speaking, I'm a seed to you. But as you're listening, you are land to me. But there's three types of land, according to all wise men and women. Three types of land. There's a land where if the rain drops on it, fall on it, he will allow it to, he will create a basin or a puddle of water. And that land, now, though it does not consume the water to fertilize itself, but it leaves it on the surface for the animals and other things to get from it. That's one type of land, you see? And the second type of land is a land that, would I say, it's it received the water and then he consumed the water, becomes one with it, and then they allow it to fertilize it as a land. And because of that, plants, vegetation, fruits, whatever, and people are able to come and pluck and eat and sustain themselves from that. That's another type of land. And the last and worst, that was the best of land, and the worst of land and last is the land that is barren, you see? And the water, it's not that it doesn't have water. The water drops on it, you see what I mean? Yet, not only it did not create a puddle with it, it did not consume it. So, not only other animals cannot get the water from it, though it's not making your use of it, so does it doesn't serve itself. It doesn't allow the water to even fertilize it as a land. Therefore, crops cannot grow on it. Nature gives us all these lands so that we may make sense of our lives and stuff like that, right? So now we have to understand who we are. You see, what type of land we are, because all is self. We are connected to either one of those. One is the land that is barren, that the words, which are the seeds, or the water drops, you see, will not penetrate that land, you see. And some will be the land that it will not penetrate, but it will keep it on the surface for the one. As a being, what energy that would be? Someone who will share the life. Meaning, he may not take it for itself, because he doesn't serve his level of understanding now. He may serve later. That's why you don't judge the person because of that. He may not serve them now. Yet, because he doesn't serve them now, doesn't mean they're not going to give it to someone that may need it. That's a land that is not dangerous to itself, because though he doesn't serve the land, yet he keeps it for those he may serve. By that, he shares. You see what I'm saying? Like we share the message that may not serve, but we see value in it. That's that land. And then the other land that you see, we drop and take the vegetation, is the one that get it. Then the words of wisdom gets into them, and they allow it to do the work, whatever the mind say, the feel, and the heart accepts it, and then whatever, and then it causes a change within them, a chemical change, a tangible change, and then after, because of that, they become a different person. You see what I mean? And then from that person that they become, now they become a better husband to whoever they're married to, a better father to their children, a better neighbor in the neighborhood, a better being or citizen in the society. You see what I mean? Then that's that land that is fertile, and take the water and then allow it to do what it does, and then from it sprout many things. You see what I mean? So that's the thing. So you know what I mean? So I don't know why I took that analogy. I lost it. I lost the reason. But it's so connected. That's why I lost it. You see what I mean? So that's what it is, guys. So I'm so happy to see you, Musa. It's a long time we haven't seen each other. How are you still calling me boss? I ain't your boss. You see, I ain't your boss, Musa. You right now my boss. You're the one with the store. I don't have a store right now. Right now I may come to work for you soon. No, watch. You see what I mean? Musa is the boss. He has his own business. He be with me and stuff like this. But that was a long time ago. You know what I mean? Like the thing is like, the tables are turned. You have that story you now. Now it's gonna be my turn to be, you see the thing. I was the boss. Now it's his turn. You see? The master and the student. You see? It's just life. That's the way. Once you understand life, because it keeps on happening in your face all the time. You just with the program, my baby. And then life will be easy. You see what I'm saying? But don't allow your mind to be scattered again, divided again, thinking, oh, I'm not that, I'm this, oh, man. Find the common ground. You see what I mean? So, and stuff like that. So, thank you guys for coming. And we appreciate your divine presence, Musa, and all the Muslims on the line. Happy Ramadan, you see, and stuff like this. And, we hope that Allah, keep us safe and accept our deeds during this month and beyond and stuff like that. And for those who fast, and also we hope that Allah accept those who cannot fast, and and bless them for their choices, regardless, because we do not judge or something like this, something like that. So we thank everyone. Also, Brother Isaac, something like this, Brother Sag, Brother Anen, what's up, Brother Seidu, Brother Savam, Brother Salam, Brother Scott, Brother Brian, what's poppin', you see, Brother Don, what up, my G, Brother Big Bill, what's up, G, what up, young gods. So we thank you guys for enjoying this with us. We didn't expect to stay that long, but it's your fault, because once you come and then I enjoy your company so much, and to have someone to stay and listen, it only shows that they are right there with you. It's because they are on the same wavelength and the same level of understanding, same level of frequency. Because you cannot stand something. Imagine taking a child from kindergarten and put it on a university class. You know what's gonna happen. They're gonna get bored out of their mind. You see what I mean? That's the thing. So if you can stay on the level and listen, it only shows something about you, that you own there. You belong. You are right there. You see what I mean? So stay the course. Keep on evolving. Do your thing. You know what I mean? Every time you come to doubt yourself, and many spiritual leaders are helping with that. Doubt is can be an enemy if you don't deal with it properly. You see what I mean? Allow doubt to come, but remember, like they say, the doubts are like the clouds in the sky. But you are not the clouds, you are the sky itself. Clouds come and go, all shape or form of clouds. But the sky remains the sky. You see what I mean? You are who you are, and nothing can change that. You see, it's immovable, unchangeable. You see what I mean? Even that evolution, it's accepting within the absolute self. It's not something that you're not already. It's just you becoming a version of you that already in existence. You see what I'm saying? That's the thing. It's a paradox thing. Like even a conundrum, we could say. But it is what it is. We can understand it. We do our best to simplify life, everything we do, and that's one thing of wisdom as well. If we want to be wise, when we speak, anyone should be able, even a child, should be able to understand what we're talking about, because the wise one is the one that is able to take something that is complicated and simplify it so that it may serve as many as possible. But the one who may not be wise but yet knowledgeable, you see, will complicate things. You see what I mean? Strategically or dumbfoundedly, whatever. You see what I mean? So thank you guys. So what it is just, our world is asking of us to mature, to become the sustainers or the maintainers of the garden. We left it up to 1%, yet 1% is not fully in control of things. We still have a share in the maintenance, in the control. You see what I mean? So the thing is, like, we have to understand that we cannot blame if we fail to do our part. You see what I mean? So that's what it is. And then, which is why when people say, why you're not talking about these things or whatever, or what's going on in Hollywood and how they're taking children, whatever the words or whatever it is, it doesn't serve. Why? Because what I had to say to the people yesterday that I was speaking to is that, okay, there's three aspects of God. You see what I mean? Everything is God, whether you like it or not. Because nothing exists outside of God, you see. Which is why even in Islam, you would say, after the last trumpet is blown, the only thing that remains is the face of Allah, the face of God. Why? Because that was what was in the first place. Everything else was simply an illusion. You see what I mean? So that's what it is. It is just God dividing it to experience itself. That's all. So the thing is, like, basically we are all aspects of that, angles of that light. That is the ultimate light. So the thing is, like, basically, when you see why I said that, no, I was concluding, Adoni. So what it is that, you see, it's just that. I forgot what I was saying. But that's what it is. So you see what I mean? So, you know what I mean? You guys gotta help me sometimes. I mean, you do. Not do like in the toilet, but you do. I mean, you do help me. That's what I mean. Not that you do. So the thing is, like, you know what I mean? That's the thing. It's like it's all God, you see? So that what I had to tell them is that there's three aspects of God. But that's me attempting to make it make sense, you see? So the thing is, like, there's an aspect of God that is the creator, you see? And another aspect of God is the sustainer. And also another aspect and very viable aspect of God is the destroyer. When you see the something coming to destroy, it's not all the time a negative. Because if it is allowed to happen, there's some good to it. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it is. My job is to allow you to understand the good of things, you see? So it's that, I know it's not easy to, it's not plain to see, but there is, just because you can see it, because of how you're vibrating and the level of your consciousness, doesn't mean that's all there is to it, you see? We are all the time blind to the majority of the reality anyway. You see what I mean? We only see a few spectrums of color. We only hear a few spectrum of sound. You see what I mean? Everything is only a very few. And that few, some people will say, oh, yeah, that's not good. Nah, trust me. It's all you want to handle to enjoy this as a vacation. We're here on vacation. We're not here to, we know we're in school, but let's make it fun, please. You see, we're not trying to make everything known. Like you see the people on Gaia TV say. We have to see it like, you see, let's say the phone I'm using, the phone you're using to listen to me right now on the computer. There's some icons on it, apps, we call them. You see? These apps, for the developers of these apps to create this app, when they look at it, they don't see the simplicity as you do. You just see the name of the app, the logo, whatever, you click, and then it's easy, and the chosen, what you call it, just show up while you use it, and whatever, and interface with it, whatever. That's simple, you see? You like it like that. But imagine every app you had to use, you had to develop it for yourself. Or you had to, you see what I mean? At least even do the work that the developers did in order to enjoy 1 second of that app. Imagine that. That's the same thing with life. And we may be doing that to ourselves when we don't understand the levels and the things and stuff like that. You see what I mean? We may think that, oh, we need to know everything. Nah. Life is on a need to know basis. You see what I mean? It's not let me know everything. Because if you know it and then you didn't need to know it, then it's just going to be a data in your mind, causing confusion, taking space. It's not going to serve anything. You see what I mean? But as you have the need for it, only then it will unfold to you what it means and why you need it and whatever, and then it will serve you and others. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is, like, it's just about the same with life, you see? The spectrum of colors is not because we're primitive. It's not, no, that's not what that is. This body is created perfectly. And this is to the scientific community, indeed. You see what I mean? This body is created perfect. It is perfect for what it serves. You see what I mean? What it serves it serves it perfectly. why do you think you are able to create something better? You see, it's using that because from the perfect can comes great things. You see what I mean? That's what it is. He had to first be perfect. But any limitation that you see in it is not something that happened to it. No, it is something that is created with it. It's created for it, with it, to serve it. You see what I mean? That's what we have to understand. You see? And once we understand things to that degree, then we will not really waste energy and money on things that do not matter, that do not really serve us, seeking evolution outside of self. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is like basically it's just it's not like that. It's not about okay, evolution is to be able to see all colors. No, you have to leave something to the imagination. It makes life enjoy like joyful and happy. You see what I'm saying? Leave some to the imagination. You see, like okay, oh, I wonder the spectrum of the colors. And once you have that imagination, that hope, it gives you that hope, and that hope gives you a boost of to go on, to continue, to discover, you know, and that's how science is created. But science, if it doesn't limit itself, understand its limit, then it's gonna become a problem to itself, therefore self-destructive, you see. But it didn't have to be that way, you see what I'm saying? The thing is because we don't understand the limits for what they are. We see them as a curse instead of the gift. You see what I'm saying? It's not when you see that who wants to be bothered with all these colors at the time. Sometimes you just want things, you want to be able to see one child, not a different color of the same child. Hell no. Get out of here, blue you, green you. No, I only see the brown. Thank you. You see? I see one cat. I don't need to see all sorts of cats of the one cell. One of them, I'm confused. Oh shit. You never look at yourself when your head hits something and you start seeing everything, all colors blend in and all everything like start to multiply in front of you. Do you like it? Nah. So why would we want to make that a normal? You see what I'm saying? Because it's not normal to us. That's not what we're here for. We're here to see the simplest things, the simplest life, so that we may strategically divide it in order to study it, give ourselves something to do. You see, nothing out of that. You see, we just want to learn, give ourselves, you know, we have nothing but time. Let's make up something of it. That's all. You see, science is created out of this, you know, the curiosity to know. It's beautiful. We are curious beings, you see. But we have to remember curiosity kills the cat if it doesn't know its limit. So the thing is like basically you just gotta know. You see, it's not about all that. You see, and a lot of things that we are doing, we will mismanaging things. You see, so that's what it is. But we will never get anywhere. Like we say, Ali would say, the scriptures say, we only self-destructive with that mindset. You see, we just gotta start understanding we are perfect. There's no perfect state to be. We already, the minute that we want to be perfect, the perfect version of ourselves already existed. It's there waiting us to act it out. You see what I'm saying? So that's all it is. We don't have anything to achieve or attain or something like that. You see what I mean? We are all of it. The ugly, the good, the bad, the whatever. You see what I mean? It's a choice, a conscious decision. So the thing is like that's what it is. We just gotta know, you see, if we know there's different colors, that's all there is to it. We really didn't need to. But if we know, then yeah. You see, that's why a lot of people are like, nah, I don't want to know, thank you. Nah, ignorance is bliss. They know what they're talking about. Because the minute that you know too much, responsibility. You see what I mean? Damn, when am I going to have a break? I came here to enjoy myself. Fuck that knowledge nonsense. Take it out of my face, please. You see what I mean? And we do that to ourselves. We think it's about knowledge all the time. You see, it's mostly about application. You see, what we know. Why do we need to know what we know? Why are we even worried about that? You see, that's more important than knowing. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it is. So that's the thing. Knowing what you need to look for is very important in this time because Google knows everything. Because what the Google, you ask Google for the, you know, who got the biggest thing in the world, Google may know. And that doesn't mean it's gonna serve you, but that's what you ask. Google is gonna tell you that. At the same time, Google can tell you how much the best stock to invest in for the moment. But that's you didn't know to ask Google that. You feel me? But I'm just saying, it's anything. So that's what it is. So just know everything you do from now. Understand why do I need to do this? What's it serving? What's in it for me? Because time is precious. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it is. You know, of course, we waste the time at the same time, whatever. But we have to always remind each other of that serious part of time. Because the same time we are time, we go out of time. That's the conundrum. That's the paradox. You see what I mean? It doesn't make sense. Life doesn't make sense. Stranger than fiction, the truth is. You see what I'm saying? It's not a lie. Because it really doesn't make sense. The same one is saying, oh, you know, we are timeless, whatever. Then with the same mouth we say we don't have time. Oh, which one is it? They want us to choose. There's no choice. You are all of it. You see, I mean, I love playing with you, but you know, sometimes we just gotta keep it straight and stuff like that. So I thank you guys once again for giving me a purpose, listening, and I truly appreciate you and stuff like this. And I'm so happy also for your evolution, for your level of consciousness and stuff like this. You are on the right track, and I pray that God continue to assist you and bless you with more understanding and stuff like this, and give you the patience and that you need to cope with those who have not been so fortunate as you are. You see what I mean? And that may be now an obstacle on your path sometimes, but it is only there to serve you. It cannot destroy you unless you allow it. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it is. So keep on evolving. As you evolve, be the same light to those that need you in your own vicinity, in your own group and stuff like this. So together we got this, and we're gonna continue to do our thing. So thank you guys. You have a wonderful night. And as you know, your brother, I could stay here speak to you up till morning. You know what I mean? But at some point, let's just go and chill. You see what I'm saying? So thank you for listening. All right. Peace, wholeness, balance, and harmonious vibration to all. Namaste. One love. Travel well. Have sweet dreams tonight. Okay? Thank you guys. One love.